ruins, dog. No, I'm not letting you. I'm not taking you upstairs now, bro. You want to come up here? Come here. Come on. Come here. You want to let all the people see? Oh God. Oh God. Sorry. Oh God. Say hi, buddy. Oh my God. You're not actually hurt, bro. All right, but I'm not taking you upstairs. You want to hang out with me for a minute? You're gonna have to hang out and wait for your mom because your mom's gonna have to come get you. I'm not doing this. Yeah? No, don't lick me. Don't lick in the face. Say hi to people. All right. We're gonna talk about cocaine. There's some illegal drugs in the White House. Perhaps Hunter Biden's. Perhaps Donald Trump's. There's a lot of theories out there. What do you think, Roscoe? What do you think, buddy? Whose cocaine was it? Was it your cocaine, Roscoe? Is it your cocaine, Roscoe? Answer the question. He seems sketchy. Suspicious. Very suspicious, Roscoe. I think it might be your cocaine. Alright, let's watch video. You ready for this?
All right, a shocking drug discovery at the White House, sparking a blizzard.
Okay, first of all, shocking. Shocking my ass. That's what I say. What do you think about that, Roscoe? You think it's shocking that there's cocaine at the White House? I don't think that's shocking, even in the least, buddy. I think that's absolutely something that I would imagine would happen at the White House. The fact that they haven't found more cocaine at the White House, Roscoe, really actually concerns me. They're not doing a very good job looking for the drugs.
Of speculation. Fox News can confirm that cocaine was indeed found in the West Wing on Sunday while President Biden and his family were away at Camp David. The Secret Service discovering the white powder in a what they called working area during a routine inspection. It caused a brief evacuation with fire and emergency.
Are there places in the White House where people don't work? And that's like the whole point of the White House. Wait, actually, I think the president lives there, right? Could be wrong about that, but the working area?
Crews responding to a 911 call at the White House, weighing in today and pointing out that there could be a lot of suspects.
What?
Where this was discovered is a heavily traveled area.
Dude, was it hers? Was it hers? That's the real question. Oh, there's your mom, Roscoe. Oh, shit, you're excited. Oh, it's hers. It's Karina's. Karina's? I can't say her name.
Where many White House West Wing, I should be even more specific, West Wing visitors come through this particular area. When people visit the West Wing,
he tried to attack a deer, a mama deer with 2 babies, and she squared up, dude. She was like, fucking, you want some, bro? And he, like, ran towards her, and he's like, arr! And he just, like, turned her around and fucking walked back all, like, cowardly and shit. He hurt his paw. He almost got beat up, dude. Wife's dog almost got murked by a deer. Mama deer almost fucked him up.
There is the area of the West Wing where it is highly traveled, and that is what happens. People come through this particular area. It's highly traveled. I'm just not going to get into specifics. We do have.
She's not going to get into specifics. She ain't no snitch. All right. She ain't no snitch, bro.
West Wing tours that occur here on campus. They happen in this particular past couple of days. They happened on Friday.
Oh, are they blaming it on a tourist? Oh, come on. You're going to blame it on a tourist? I mean, who brings cocaine with them to the White House tour?
On Saturday and Sunday.
The White House also dodging questions left and right on the cocaine caper.
So what's preventing...
I had to watch the Fox News one because you knew Fox News would give like the hottest take, right? Like you can't watch like CNN or anything like that on these things. You gotta watch the Fox News take on this. It's a hot take.
A visitor from bringing in anthrax or something that's not magnetic into the White House.
No, look, I totally understand the question, but it is under investigation.
Does the White House support the prosecution of this individual?
I'm just not going to get into hypotheticals from here.
Will the president be satisfied?
Do they support, like, what are they going to do? How are they going to find out who that was? I guess there's cameras all over the White House, right? Like, do they support the prosecution of the individual? Like some random Joe Schmo that dropped his bag of coke on the fucking White House tour. What are we gonna put him in prison?
With, sir, this is a busy room and we found some cocaine. I don't know who brought it.
So let's see what the Secret Service says, right?
How determined is the president to get to
Yeah, it just goes to show too how bad like our whole system is that even the Secret Service ain't gonna be able to figure this shit out. Like the most well-trained, highest paid dudes in the entire fucking police force, like FBI, CIA, whatever, and then no one's gonna figure this shit out. It was some random ass dude. If that was a plant, imagine if that was a plant. Like some Trump dude was like fucking gonna throw this in there. You're gonna fucking think it's Hunter Biden. So they know about the laptop.
the bottom of who brought illegal drugs into the White House.
The president thinks this is incredibly important to get to the bottom of this.
Joe Biden's like, let me just see that bag real quick. Just let me take a look at it. I just want to see it. I'll be right back.
I would love to be able to say the president's mad, and then they can't do that.
They should blame you.
They can't do
Totally.
that.
They should say that they found it in a My Little Kitty coin purse.
For a while.
I used to take one of those to the working area of the White.
I thought she was gonna say that she used to do cocaine. Dude, everybody on this panel is rich and white. You know, every one of these motherfuckers has done cocaine. Up here just judging. This is a problem with people, dude. Like fucking a bunch of rich white people judging some dude for dropping his cocaine in the White House. Like they've never left their cocaine somewhere. You know they have.
House. No, the purse. The little phony purse.
Did you see what they did though?
What did they do?
It went from it was found at a library, highly specific, to a working area, and they kept stressing that.
Okay, it was found in the library? Who the fuck takes cocaine to a library? Isn't that like the opposite of what you do at the library? It seems like a bad place to do cocaine.
This over and over again. The possibility of suspects are endless. We'll probably never get to the bottom of this one. It'll be another unsolved mystery. And our media, who generally love to pursue a great story, when it's a Republican, will not do anything on it. And I know that sounds so repetitive.
Yeah, it sounds awfully repetitive. Two-tier media system. Bro, oh my God. They're not going to cover the cocaine. Dude, this story is all over the place. What the fuck is he talking about? The media isn't going to cover it. I found like 13 different videos within the last hour. Like CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, 45 dudes giving their fucking hot take on it. Like, I mean, I saw review channels doing reviews on this shit. What do you mean the media is not going to cover it? Oh, two-tiered media system. Like, bro, like the reason I went to Fox News is because I just wanted to see the hot take. I wanted to see these guys cry about this shit.
Shoe on the other foot thing. But it is true that if this were, like in the last couple of weeks, we've had a trans activist bearing her breasts. We find coke. It's like if this were, it's like they're running a.
That is pretty funny. Topless women and coke at the White House. The White House is starting to sound a lot more interesting. Hasn't been this cool since Bill Clinton's days.
A low-rent strip club. Yes. But I also do love how the media pounces on the right for bringing up Hunter, as if, he isn't the...
Oh, come on, dude. That's kind of a low blow. I'm allowed to make jokes about that shit because I'm a small YouTube channel. I get, fucking 45 views on I'm allowed to make that shit, okay? But let's come on, man. If that's your son... If that's your son that's struggling with a fucking drug problem and the media starts going, yeah, I bet your crackhead son's the one who fucking had the drugs. I bet that's who it is. I bet he's the cokehead. Yeah, you think they're going to get upset? It's his fucking son, man. I just came back from that Bill Burr show. And that Bill Burr show was fucking hilarious because he talked about how people make fun of Joe Biden for having dementia and shit, but if you saw some old person at a restaurant with dementia, you'd be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I hope he's doing okay and somebody's taking care of him. He just comes here, it's so cute, and he just gets his piece of pie every day. But if it's Joe Biden and he has dementia, it's I hope he fucking dies. Yeah, I hope he fucking dies soon. Yeah, people are so fucked up.
The most obvious culprit. Is there somebody else we're missing, media? Should we be talking about Kamala's laughter? Is that what you would prefer? But this is a guy who leaves drugs, guns, and
Dude. Okay, he does leave guns in places, apparently. but I have not heard anything about him leaving his drugs anywhere. So far as I know it, Hunter Biden keeps all his drugs right where they need to be in his possession, perhaps in a pipe. Just saying, stating the facts.
Laptops everywhere. You got thrown out of the Navy for a Coke. You got thrown out of the Chateau Marmont.
He did get kicked out of the Navy for cocaine. I'm not going to lie. It crossed my mind. What's happening, James?
It's hard to get thrown out.
James, I hope you had a good 4th of July. I hope you got all your fingers still, bro. Please tell me you got all your fingers still.
Out of the Chateau Marmont. Trust me, I have tried. And then, of course, he was just at the White House. So I guess, Occam's razor, this is the most obvious thing that could happen. But
Okay, it's not the most obvious thing. It's the simplest answer, okay? What's this guy's name? I don't know. We'll call him Chad. Okay, Chad, look, fucking, it's not the most obvious. It's the simplest, okay? And the simplest answer isn't that the president's, former drug addict son's the one who did it. It's the simplest answer is that somebody that was in the fucking library with the wrench did it. Obviously it was Colonel Mustard. Fucking, that's the simplest answer.
But I love the fact that, like, if you bring it up, it's like, oh, typical, you'd bring up Hunter. What about a father's love for his son?
Right, and he's
he's
an addict in recovery.
How dare you?
Damn. See, this is why I wanted to watch the Fox News one. You knew they were going to give a fucking hot take, dude. You knew they were going to be mean as shit. Like I said, every one of these people have done coke. Every one of them. They're probably high on coke right now. Yeah, you're not a master carpenter, but you can count the tins still? Yeah, toes don't count, James. Toes don't count.
You.
And he is an addict in recovery. Okay, whatever.
Well, that's one hell of a recovery.
Sign
me up.
Judge, she was also asked if they would be going, any of the staff within the West Wing would be undergoing testing, drug testing.
What?
Watch her here.
No way. Are they going to drug test the staff for cocaine now? Ah, what a bunch of bitches.
Staffers be undergoing drug testing as part of this investigation?
White House is subject to rigorous guidelines that include drug testing, and so we will take any action that is appropriate and warranted pending the outcome of the Secret Service. Just not going to get into hypotheticals from here.
Her ambivalent.
Dude, she's like, all these fucking, whether it's Sarah Huckabee, or I still don't know how to say that girl's name. I'm not gonna remember her name again. Or Jen Psaki. They all just have that attitude like, why do I have to do this shit? I hope they get paid a lot of money. They probably do get paid a lot of money for that job, right?
In her answer, in not answering, is consistent with the...
Dude, look at her. You telling me that woman right there ain't never done no coke in her life? Look at it. She looks like she's mid-line, like right now. Right now, she looks like she is high as fuck. You telling me she's going to judge people for doing cocaine? You know what they're all mad about? They're all mad that the person dropped the cocaine. They're like, don't just drop the cocaine, okay? Evening DJ. Once again, happy 4th of July, DJ. Yeah, box wine, James. That woman has a fucking monthly subscription, perhaps weekly subscription to a box wine. I guarantee it. Cocaine and box wine. It's gonna be the name of my new CD, Cocaine and Box Wine. DJ, I'm just gonna ask you all when you come in here. You got all 10 of your fingers still, right? You got all 10 fingers. It's very important, bro.
Ambivalence about, will the White House prosecute? Why would you not say we are going to prosecute? We have to.
Because it's not a bunch of snitches, Janine. Okay, don't come up in here with that snitch shit. All right. Like, maybe just the White House has realized that the war on drugs isn't working, Janine, okay? I know it made you wealthy. Fucking got you a bunch of box wine.
To set send the message here. It is illegal. You don't bring it into the White House. If you're a staffer high on cocaine, you shouldn't be in the White House. If you're a staffer who brings cocaine in, you shouldn't be in the White House. If you're a tourist, and how many think a tourist...
Dude, this is a fucking lady that probably pops like 5 pills a day. She's probably on like Xanax, fucking Oxycontin. She's like, I don't do drugs, okay? I don't do drugs. Like, these people need to go to jail. Oh, shut the fuck up, Janine. 9.5 toes from a baby injury. Aw, DJ, that's okay. No, you don't really need your toes. They don't seem really useful. They're only, like, around to, like, catch on shit when you're walking past stuff in the dark. Toes are kind of fucking useless, to be honest. Like, you ever seen those videos of the monkeys that can grab shit with their feet and stuff? Like, We're not utilizing our feet very well.
Do this. You think you're going to get past the incredible screening, get past the canines, get past everything if you're a tourist, and who's going to dare do it?
And then, like, once you get through all those things,
dude. Okay, maybe this woman has never done drugs in her life. Maybe that's true because you know what? You know how many fucking people forget they have their drugs on them? Come on, lady. You gotta be fucking kidding me. You don't know that? Like, oh shit, that's in my pocket right now. That's probably what happened. Some dude probably realized he had a fucking bag of cocaine in his pocket and was probably like, oh shit, and like flung that shit under a couch real quick. I'm telling you, nobody takes cocaine to a library, dude.
then take it out of your pocket and put it in the cubby hole.
There. But the amazing thing is, Greg touched on this, for the D.C. hazmat people said it's in the library. There's a tape recording. Dana, where is the library? The library is in the East Wing, where the president's family is, and not the West Wing, where the public and the press go through.
Oh, shit. You might be right.
But let me continue that train of thought because I am a prosecutor and this kind of stuff makes me crazy. Number one, the purpose, and let me say this, Secret Service agents are ready to take a bullet for the president. But I want to ask you, the Secret Service job is to protect the president.
How do you know it wasn't one of the Secret Service agents? She's like, how'd they get past the dogs? How'd they get past the Secret Service agents? Because they were one of them. What do you think, the Secret Service people don't be doing some coke? All of these people act like people don't do drugs. That's like the funniest fucking inside joke in our entire society is a bunch of motherfuckers getting mad about people doing drugs that all do drugs. Like, everybody does drugs. It's whether it's weed or cocaine or pharmaceuticals or fucking Xanax. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, everybody in some way, shape, or form does some kind of drug. Like, Donald Trump talks about he doesn't do fucking drugs. It's like, I guarantee that motherfucker's on some pharmaceuticals. 100% he's on Adderall. I bet you that was his cocaine. Yeah, you know a Secret Service? Yeah, see? That's what I'm saying, DJ. I know a dude that knows an NSA guy. I fucking guarantee if I talk to him that he's done some fucking drugs in his life. In fact, as far as I know, he comes from a crazy-ass family, so I bet he's done drugs.
President and his family. The Secret Service is the one that retrieved the gun from that basket, that garbage can outside the school. The Secret Service are the people who went to
what the fuck is Janine going on about?
Where Hunter bought the gun and tried to get the pistol permit application that is the...
Oh, they gotta bring Hunter up. They can't help themselves. They're like, we gotta get him for something. Look at that motherfucker did some stuff. I'd like to see him go to jail, but I'm still waiting. I know there's a video of him throwing the gun behind the school. Like, I find that shit kind of weird. I don't know why he didn't get prosecuted for that. I know my ass would have got prosecuted for fucking sure for doing that shit.
Substance of a crime right now away from the shop owner, but he wouldn't give it to them. So here we have a White House that wants to manage every aspects of our lives, what drugs we can take, what drugs we can't take, whether we should go to work, whether we should go to school.
Wait, did Janine just flip the script? Is she on my tilt now that people should be fucking allowed to do anything?
That we should do this or that. But a little cocaine in the White House, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. I mean, it's outrageous the way they responded.
Joey, the White House demanded a second test because...
Yeah, that's a good fucking question there, James. He does sniffle a lot. I bet you, I'm telling you, rich white people don't think of cocaine as being a drug. They're like, no, that's just, it's like, you know, it's a little upper. It's a little something extra. It's not a drug. It's not a drug. And Donald Trump Jr., like, I like how people talk shit about Hunter Biden, but Donald Trump Jr. is like the very fucking epitome of a fucking crackhead. He is, like, if you looked up the definition of a cokehead, like, there's a picture of Donald Trump Jr., for fucking sure. There's no fucking doubt in my mind that man has done massive amounts of cocaine in his life. And apparently he had sex with a pop star in a gay club. So if you're not on coke at the gay club, what are you even doing there?
It's almost as if they're like, gosh, we really hope it's anthrax and not cocaine, because that story's really bad for us.
Yep. Yeah. He's like, I don't know anything about cocaine for sure.
So it's going to be really hard for the White House to come out stronger.
Look at this motherfucker. You telling me he's never done coke? Everybody on this panel looks like they have done massive amounts of coke in their life.
Against this person. I mean, just think about it. What if this person is a staffer there? And they come out and say, you know what, I've just worked really hard. They expect me to work 18 hours a day. I'm stressed out. I fell into this bad habit. You know, my family member died. It was tragic.
Wait. Do people do coke when they're sad? Like, fucking my mom just died, I'm gonna do some cocaine? I don't know if that's true. I mean, maybe smoke some, like some crack. Like, you know, you might be deep in it like that. But do people do, like, a bump after their, like, aunt dies?
I'm struggling to keep up. I've become an addict. I'm a victim of my own device or my own vices. And I need help is what I need. I just need help. I mean, this is an administration that, if in no other way than through their own silence, supports the broad progressive policy in communities and cities around the country that says doing drugs is not an immoral thing. It's a sign of victimhood. Drug crime unfairly prosecutes people. Their position as a party from coast to coast is to make excuses and to provide some sort of redemption path for someone who does drugs or is addicted to drugs, not provide consequence. So how can you support Gavin Newsom or his entire state on?
Where the fuck are you going with this, Bobby? God damn it, boy. What the fuck are you talking about? Is he trying to say that, like, if, like, just one of the staffers would just own up to it and be like, fucking I did it, Joe Biden would just let him get away with it because he likes crackheads? Like, are you trying to make, like, a good point or a bad point? I am lost.
On this. And come out hard on somebody that might work for you that got caught with a little bit of cocaine. I mean, they've put themselves.
You listen to what he said. A little bit of cocaine. He knows. He's been there. He's done some cocaine. Also, Lieutenant Dan, you ain't got no legs. Motherfucker, you know you've done cocaine. This man, it looks like he might have lost both his legs in the military or something. That's what I'm going to guess. Guarantee he takes painkillers. Like, don't act like you never done no drugs.
I don't see how they can come down hard on him. And not be called out for hypocrisy by the further left.
I'd like to put myself, Jessica, in the shoes of any press secretary and imagine what it would have been like on a Sunday night of the holiday weekend when you think, I'm going to have like 2 days here where I can just...
There you go. There's some empathy. There's some empathy. She has to sit next to a wino? Is that who I'm talking about?
You catch my breath, spend some time with my family, and you get the call that says, hey, heads up, they found cocaine in the White House.
Well, it seemed like a joke.
Is that her?
Right, when I saw it circulating on Twitter, I thought it was like the perfect July hoax, right?
Two
like
on the nose.
Yeah, dude, first of all, it was like the fucking day after July 4th. You found some cocaine in the White House on the day after July 4th. I bet you they find, like, dead strippers in the fucking White House, like, the day after July 4th. You fucking kidding me? Like, this is, like, big news? Like, come on, man. This is like Obama's beige suit all over again.
Yeah.
Or in the
nose. And every joke was taken before you could get back on TV, which must have been devastating for you, Greg. But it did. Like, you have an addict is openly in recovery. Suddenly there's a little baggie of coke. He met up with his dad before they went to Camp David. Did he slip into the visitor place and, just stash something in a cubby hole? Like, it was all too insane. But, of course, it riveted by.
All right. It's like, if that shit's true, though, it's like your kids are always your fucking kids, It's like, you're like, come on, man. He's like, dude, I don't know. I had it on me. I figured I'd fucking, maybe you and mom were going to go to bed early. I'd sneak down to the library, fucking do a little bump, No big deal. Nobody, this is some shit, like, parents have to deal with. Your fucking kids, man. Fucking kids. They never grow up. God damn it.
On Sunday evening. And then you have the people who, people are defending the family, obviously saying it's too on the nose, in the nose, whatever. And then you have the people who are out to, get Hunter no matter what, who are, tracing things. It turns into one of those, like, remember the show Homeland, one of those boards where there are red strings connecting. And then he went here, and I'm sure he talked to so-and-so. And it's all really just concerning on a national security level. And I think that was the best question.
Yeah, she's like the only nice person that said anything so far. She's like the only person out of the five of them that's like kind of like, like things happen and it's concerning that it's national security. So, I understand that. Like, his son's an ex-drug addict. Did something happen? Like, the rest of them are just clowning.
That was asked, what if anthrax now can get in easily? How is this conceivable that cocaine got in there, if not from someone who works in there and could get it in a
There are lots of cameras in the White House.
I bet they're going to blame it on a worker, like somebody that cleans. That's what they'll do. 'Cause, that's...
Dude, this motherfucker would blame it on a worker. You telling me he's any better? Like, I love the fucking, like, when all these fucking rich white people get together and they're like, yeah, fucking other rich white people are doing shady shit. Can you believe that? It's like, you do it too, motherfucker. Like, you're probably one of the worst.
That's the easiest way out. Is to it was an overnight worker.
But there's a glassine bag. Are there fingerprints on the bag? Did they protect the bag?
DNA,
Did they collect it in the proper way?
Well, we know it's not Hunter.
Did they collect it in a proper way? Somebody found that cocaine and they're like, dude, do I get to keep it? Like, the Secret Service guy's like, no, you have to give that to me. What the fuck are you doing? Like, I mean, it could just go away, right?
Because Hunter's a man of the people. He's a crack guy. This is cocaine. This is way too white collar.
Yes.
Can you imagine, though, like, if you invited, because on those holiday weekends, you do get a lot of friends and family asking you, can you please give us a tour while we're in town for the fireworks? And so you go in on the weekend. You say, can you imagine how many people are calling their friends and family going, did you just screw my life over? Because you better fess up right now.
That would have been a good thing. Hunter, like, getting his dealer in on a tour. That's a great way to get your drugs in.
It's not bad.
That's a great.
This dude is like, he's got a hard-on for it, dude. He's got such a hard-on for it. He's like, it was Hunter. I know it was Hunter. Come on, say it was Hunter.
Another red strip.
Exactly. Bring back the West Wing show. You've got writers right here on the 5.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade.
Dude.
I want you to do me a favor.
I had to watch the Fox News take on that because I knew it was going to be a hot take. I knew that they're going to fucking super hot take on that one. I don't know if you guys seen anything on this fucking Texas teen, man. Have you guys seen this shit? This is mind-boggling stuff. This kid that supposedly disappeared for 8 years, and now he's popped back up. He was bleeding. He was out in front of a church. Now check this shit out. I don't know if you guys have seen this stuff, but
who was reported missing 8 years ago and reportedly found in the last week.
Our Anayeli Ruiz reports new allegations claiming to come from Rudy himself that he was with his mother the whole time. Anayeli, what else?
Dude, James, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, like, I would not doubt that some dude was like, this one's for Trump, fucking threw it underneath the fucking couch real quick, made sure it said, like, he wrote in Sharpie, Hunter Biden's cocaine on the fucking little baggie and tossed it in there. They'll never catch me.
What have you learned?
Well, guys, just a bombshell. Quanell X just held a press conference less than 30 minutes ago where he said he was in with investigators in the room when they were interviewing Rudy, and he says his mom has allegedly held him there. He's been living with his mom this entire time. Also, Quanell X said
most people are trying to get rid of their kids. There was that Instagram the other day where that poor kid turned 18 years old and the dude was interviewing him on the street. Probably fake, but still made me want to cry. They kicked his ass out at 18 years old. This woman straight up kidnapped her own kid.
You know, that his mom has also been sexually abusing him and drugging him. Now, Quanell X says he got involved in the case after the mom asked him to come to a hotel room here in Humble. She asked him to come meet with investigators. Quanell says Rudy met him and investigators alone, and that's when Rudy told them everything. Remember, Rudy went missing back in March of 2015, and according to Quanell X, Rudy...
DJ, help me out, bro. Who the fuck is Quanell X and why does he matter? I have a video queued with that dude and I don't know who he is though. Like, why is this guy some kind of like important person? I don't get why they just called this dude down. Is he like fucking is he like Sherlock Holmes or something?
Told investigators today he just ran away and came back home 2 days later. Quanell says Rudy's mother convinced him not to go to police when he came back home.
The things he told me, I broke down in tears. She was giving him drugs. She was punishing him by locking him in the room over and over. She convinced him that law enforcement wanted to put him in jail, that law enforcement were looking for him because he ran away, and that because he ran away, he was going to go to prison.
She hired for her family. That was wrong and awful.
Who's this dude?
It hurt me, my cousin, and all my family right now.
Ah, damn.
Now, what she did to him,
God damn, man.
That girl need to go to jail.
Is that just like some random dude off the street?
The last man you just heard was actually a family member who showed up out here to the hotel where the mom and Rudy are staying. Now, how did Rudy get out last week? Well, Quanell X says Rudy told investigators he stole his mother's...
Anayeli Ruiz.
Okay, we were just getting to the good part, too. I fucked it off. Why is his name Quanell X? Is it like a like Malcolm X? Like, why is that his full name? I have so many questions. We're gonna have to like Wikipedia Quanell X.
Quanell X said police out here on the scene were just making phone calls, calling the DA's office, trying to obviously speak with other investigators. But they did say that Rudy did stay with the mother here in the hotel when investigators left, and just all the commotion you hear in the background here is family members just arguing because not just like I said a few minutes ago, the mother and Rudy did get out from this hotel room and left in a car. And of course, all these family members are worried for Rudy's safety, hoping that some arrest is made. And of course, we're going to continue to follow this and bring you guys the very latest. We'll send it back to you in the studio.
Okay, we're gonna watch this video of Quanell X because I don't know who the fuck Quanell X is.
Welcome back to The Beat. I'm Alicia.
Apparently, hold on. First, we need to Google who the fuck Quanell X is. Quanell. Is that how you spell it? Oh yeah, he's an activist. Okay. Okay, Quanell. I would like to see Quanell X is an activist and leader of the new Black Panther Nation in Houston. Whoa, hold on. Why the fuck is he involved in this? He's a leader of the new Black Panther Nation. Isn't this kid Mexican? I am so confused as to why this guy is a part of this. He became a student of Louis Farrakhan. Evans, who would later be more commonly known by his pseudonym Quanell X, was recognized by his peers for his intellect, and he was later chosen to be a spokesman for the organization. He's a community activist. Oh, he's part of the Joe Horn protest. Okay. Horn had shot and killed 2 men. Broke into a neighbor's house. Horn again requested 911 not to confront the burglars. I don't understand why this guy is involved in this. Emonique? Dude, I just saw this girl's name was Amazing. It was an A with an apostrophe, M-A-Z-I-N-G. Amazing. Okay, AA Ron. Balake. All right, we're gonna listen to Quanell X. I don't know why the fuck. First of all, Quanell's. I don't want to be this dude, but I'm gonna be a little mean here. It looks like Quanell's glasses are so tight it's squeezing his head. Am I wrong? Am I just mean? Does it not look like he has a I can't even see his ears. Where are his ears at? All right, this is fucked up. Okay, we're gonna. Sorry.
5 what's your questions?
So you've been here with Rudy and his mother.
Okay, I can't hear shit, Quanell.
For a few hours, yes.
What are the conversations like?
Let me first apologize for my appearance.
Okay, and
there's an emergency
I need
phone
closed
call
captions.
to get over here.
There we go.
For this meeting with the detectives, and Rudy's mother and Rudy. And so I dropped everything I was doing and made it as fast as I possibly could. And I spent about an hour and 20 minutes one-on-one with Rudy and with one of the detectives. I heard horrific things from that young man.
But why though?
And I did not want him to see me start shedding tears, but I couldn't hold back the tears because of the things he was saying to us, the detective and myself.
Was his mom in there with him? This is fucking crazy.
No child should ever be treated like that by your own mother. This young man said that when he initially ran away, he came back 2 days later.
Is he allowed to say all these things?
She told him that
isn't this like an open case?
To hide, that he was going to get in trouble, and they were going to arrest him for running away, and that he had to continue.
Wait, am I wrong about that? Is he allowed to say all these things about like something that's like? I mean, I guess if the kid maybe not pressing charges, maybe it's not like a. Isn't this an investigation? Is he allowed to talk? I thought you were not allowed to talk about like an ongoing investigation.
Hiding. And so she hid him out for a while, then brought him back to the house and hid him in the home. And initially, whenever the investigators would come, she would hide him in the house. And he kept saying, I don't want her to go to prison. I don't want her to get in trouble. I don't want her to go to jail. And so we asked him, why did you run away? And he said he just got tired of her not respecting his boundaries. And she said that he wanted his own life. And his exact word was, I was tired of living like a slave. She would take him to work with her.
What?
And he would do the required work she was supposed to do.
What?
And a lot of the responsibilities of her job was on him.
Damn. Damn. Holy shit. I should do that to my children, though. I should take my kids to work and make them manage people. This is your new boss now. Meet Molly, Logan. They're going to be telling you what you got to do. I'm going to go sleep in my car. It doesn't look like... Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying, James. I'm fucking confused, man.
And he went on to say that what troubled him the most was her crossing his personal space boundaries. He said that she would make him sleep in the bed with her. And he said that she made him
Sorry,
play daddy.
Oh, damn, man.
He said that he didn't like getting in the bed with her.
Holy shit.
That he would try to sneak out of the bed and sometime hide under the bed, but she told him he had to be her husband. That's a damn shame, man.
God damn, man.
A little boy said she was the one providing drugs to him for years. Hallucination drugs, mushrooms, etc.
What the fuck?
And that the reason why he was left, he was just tired of her crossing his boundaries when he would shower.
Who the fuck is this lady?
She would come and pull the shower curtain back and stare at him, and then she would make him bathe her with the soap.
Okay. Hold on. What the fuck? Like, okay, isn't it that he doesn't have to press charges, right? Like, I guess all this needs to be investigated and confirmed. That would fucking make sense, 100%. But, like, if this dude said all this shit in front of an investigator, why the fuck is he still with the mother? Why is the mother still there with him? Or the woman, the news reporter said that he was in the fucking motel with the mom. This is some weird shit.
And he ran away this time because he was tired.
Damn, poor Quanell, bro. Fuck. That's heavy.
It's a goddamn shame.
It's a goddamn shame.
I ain't never in my life heard of a mother doing to a child what this woman did.
Were you at all there when the mother was questioned?
Yes.
And what was her reaction when
Yes.
you talked to her?
And I knew something was wrong with the story. When she was questioned, when they found him, he had her credit card in his pocket.
Oh, shit.
She just canceled that credit card 2.5 years ago. So if he's been missing for 8 years, how the hell he get your credit card in his pocket when they found him from 2.5 years ago?
Dude, Quanell is like, I'm fucking breaking the case, okay? Fucking get in there and prosecute Quanell. Fucking holy shit.
And he said to us that she gave him that credit card so he could go and buy her certain things.
But with the other allegations, what was her response to those allegations?
She hadn't even heard them because we had to remove her from the room.
Oh, okay.
So she hasn't been questioned about that.
Can you describe her demeanor and his demeanor during questioning?
When she was in the room, he wouldn't say nothing.
Yeah, you fucking think?
He wouldn't say one word when she was in the room. But the minute she left the room and we were allowed to talk to a young man, and he asked, he said, can I speak with Mr. X by myself? Can I talk to Cornell by myself? And the detective was like, well, can one of us stay in the room? And he was like, okay, but I'll talk to him. When she left, when he first came here, he was holding on to her. He wouldn't talk to them. He wouldn't say one word to anybody. Like he was petrified. But the minute he got alone by himself, he slowly calmed down.
He's like, fucking help me. Help me, bro. Jesus Christ.
And he slowly began to talk very coherently.
Yeah, bet.
And specific details.
This is a man in his mid-20s. People might wonder,
damn, that's
why
crazy.
Not run away.
Yeah, I forgot. He was 15. 15 when he fucking disappeared, and it's been 8 years, so he's 23 years now. 23 years old. So this is like a young dude. Like, he's like a grown fucking human being that's been hidden away for 8 years, apparently doing his mom's job, so not completely hidden away. Holy shit. Like, that's crazy to think about. I'm thinking about him as, like he's 15 years old. Like, he's still a kid. Because I bet mentally he's still probably fucking there. That's so crazy.
From this situation, why not get yourself out of it? Did he give you any explanation about that?
I honestly believe, based on what he said to us, she was drugging the hell out this kid.
Damn.
And she convinced him that he was in trouble for initially running away and that law enforcement wanted to arrest him and put him in jail for running away. She had convinced him that all type of agencies were looking for him to put him in jail.
He was in plain sight, according to you, in that he would take her to work.
No, he would go to work with her.
Right. He would
stay at the job with her.
She would take him to work. Where did she work, and where was he doing this work?
It was some kind of security job or something.
What?
Like that.
Where
they
the
were
fuck?
I don't know, but it was a security type job, a nighttime security watch type job.
How did he end up in the church?
We still can't. He admitted that he had took mushrooms.
God damn, man.
And 2 weeks before this, or a week, not even official, whole 2 weeks, her car was stolen. Okay, when her car was stolen, she didn't know how the car was stolen, but the keys were in the car, and he stole the car. That's when he got into the accident in the car, and it was him that got into the accident in that car.
What was the story? I mean, this is 8 years he was reported missing. What's the story that he's been? I spoke to neighbors who said he went by dope, but he never kind of told anyone what happened. What was
She
the
went by
story?
dope.
Because she had convinced him that he was in so much trouble for initially running away, and she gave this boy.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stories from the neighbors where they're like, nah, like he comes over to my house all the time and like hangs out. Like he comes by and we like have conversations and stuff. Like when I first heard this, I actually thought that like maybe he was like nonverbal, like autistic. You know, my son's autistic. He has what's diagnosed as Asperger's, but he's high functioning. He's verbal and all that stuff. He's completely fine. But there's nonverbal, right? And so I thought maybe this kid was like autistic. Maybe he's nonverbal. That's why like when they first saved him out from in front of the church, he was found in front of a church with a bunch of injuries. I thought maybe he was autistic, but then a bunch of neighbors came out and were saying like, oh no, like he comes to our house all the time. Like we hang out in the garage and talk and like, you know, all this stuff. And I was like, damn, that's crazy. Like that doesn't fit with this story. I knew there was something fucking weird. I knew it. There's some weird shit going on.
Serious drugs to the point to where this boy needs extensive professional help.
How did he stay missing for so long? I mean, 8 years.
Damn.
He was allowed to visit with some of the neighbors under an assumed name. She believed that after so many years, people had forgotten about the case.
What?
And that under an assumed name, and convinced him to use that name, nobody would put two and two together.
But he never told any of the people that he was with what was happening?
Never told anybody what was going on. And let me say this.
DJ, is this not weird? Like, how is he... Like, I don't know much about this, but... I mean, about police investigations, but he's literally saying he was in a room with a police investigator and the young man and his mom for a moment, but when the mom was asked to leave, him and no coke for Roscoe. Teresa, don't tell my wife that the dog was on camera. Like, isn't that fucking weird? Am I wrong? Like, I am seriously, like, everything I know about a police investigation, which is very, very little, okay, is flying out the fucking window. Like, I don't believe that you can go on camera and do this. Like, how is this happening? Someone, I need a police officer or a lawyer. One of you guys. There's like 7 of you in here right now. One of you, if you have any fucking ability to tell me what's going on here. How is this even possible?
The young man's body have scars all over it.
What the fuck?
Slice wounds.
What?
From here, from his forearm to his wrist. All type of scars on this kid. And he said that she often locked him in the room. That she would give him drugs and lock him in the room. And there's a whole lot of mental health issues there, I believe, induced because of the drugs that this young man was taking.
At any point during this process today, did you see the mother detained by HPD?
There you go.
They took her to another room and kept her there for a minute after he had confided with us what was said.
What?
I know they were on the phone with the DA's office and their superiors about this case, but I want everybody to know something. This young boy was not kidnapped by some strangers and he got away and they found him. That's not the case.
How is this even a fucking question? I don't understand. Like, is our justice system so fucking broken? Yeah, why are they calling Quanell? Why is Quanell the one that's fucking taking care of this? Where are the police officers? This is fucking mind-blowing. Like, how is the mom not in jail? Like, he's been missing for 8 years. Dude, she's got to have, like, the best story, right? Like, she has to be, like, the fucking most manipulative, dishonest person of all time. Because how is she not in jail?
You know, this happened on Thursday, and we're nearly a week later, and investigators waited almost a week to speak to him. Hearing the story that you heard, is it a concern that they waited this long to hear from him, given the story that you were told?
Yeah, it's fucking concerning.
Years of dealing with this, and now another week.
I was shocked that they have not done more. I was shocked that they had not executed a search warrant on the home.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I was shocked by that. And I said, don't you all think you need to get busy and execute a search warrant on that home? And the young man made it crystal clear to us that that's where he was, in the house. But he was living under this fake assumed name.
You think police failed in this situation?
Oh, big time.
Oh,
No
big
doubt about
time.
it. Absolutely they did. Because there were several instances where calls were made about him to law enforcement, and they did not properly follow up and follow through based on the history of that address, because she hadn't changed addresses.
Some residents were saying this morning that she brought bags and she was trying to leave. Do we know something about that?
She was trying to do what?
She was trying to leave the house. She was trying to leave the house?
She did leave the house.
So she was trying to escape?
She did leave the house, and she was trying to get away from the house, yes.
Why was she at this hotel?
She said she felt that she was not safe going home because she had been receiving threats.
What now? Is the police investigation over? Where are they?
I can't say at what state their investigation is.
I think
But
this
what
may
I
be a problem,
can
Quanell.
say, it ain't no way in hell that woman shouldn't be locked up immediately.
Right.
And that boy needs to go to the best drug rehab and best psychological mental health facility that we can find for him. He's a good kid. He's a good kid. That kid was just severely abused.
And what was the mother's reaction when you brought these stories to her?
I couldn't go back in the presence at that point. The
Yeah,
police felt it was just best that she and I not speak again.
Oh, shit.
Because I was...
Quanell was about to handle that ass. Dude, dude. Oh, don't even call the police anymore. Apparently the police are fucking bad. Just call Quanell. Holy Christ. Like, you can't make this shit up, man. It can't possibly be that bad.
Is she aware of these that the son told you?
Yes, she's aware. And then she goes back in there and tries to tell him, and she don't even know that was recorded. Tell him that you made it all up. That it was just a lie.
You said she.
Oh, she didn't know it was recorded.
Can you just,
Holy shit.
She was sexually abused.
She would ask him to play daddy. She told him that he had to be the husband. She would force him to sleep in the bed with him. And he was forced to sleep at times in the beds with no clothes on.
Was anything ever physically done?
Yes, but I don't want to talk about the kissing and all of that stuff.
But he was telling you that there was some sort of sexual action that was happening between him and his...
Ask you a question. If your mother tongue kissing you in the bed with her naked, what the hell is that?
Oh,
I mean,
dude.
Damn, dude.
Quanell has had enough of your shit, you fucking idiot. Holy shit. Quanell just snapped on that dude. Ah, you deserved that, reporter guy. Holy crap. Like, did you really... Come on, man. Your mom is tongue kissing you, bro? Oh, dude.
You have to go that far? That's what happened. This is sick. This ain't normal. This is sick.
1L, if these allegations are
1L.
true, I understand the position you're in. If they are true, how long before you think there's an arrest?
Based on what that young man said to me in front of the detective.
How is it not happening now?
I don't see why she's not in handcuffs right now.
Exactly.
I don't see why she's not in handcuffs right now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh my God. Like, I don't know, somebody that understands the court process better than me, fucking explain to me how that lady is not in fucking cuffs. How is that even possible? Is our police, is our justice system that broken that a young person can literally, that's been missing for 8 years, let's not forget that fact, has supposedly been missing for 8 years, that you have all these like verifiable stories from neighbors saying that he hasn't been missing for 8 years, on tape, on recording, tells the police all of these things about being molested, about being forced to take drugs, about being abused, and the only person that's fucking showing up for this kid is Quanell X. How did he even get involved in this? Who called Quanell? I don't understand. This is so weird. Pornhub already has video. You know it, dude. Fucking, oh God. What was it? The #1 search porn term or something like that was like stepmom and stepson or something like that, or stepson, stepmom porn, or whatever the fuck it was. I don't fucking understand this. I am so confused. How is he able to talk about it? Like, I don't think you're supposed to be allowed to talk about an ongoing investigation unless there's maybe not an investigation. I don't get it. Oh, you don't have to worry about it, Saul. I don't care you joined late. I'm glad you joined it all, bro. I'm happy to see you. The other countries, Miss Randall covered it well, showing up after 8 years. Okay, all right. Yeah, you know the Trump supporter would have a Trump merchandise cocaine baggie. Of course they would. Unless they're trying to take everyone's intelligence and get you to be cultish. Dude, this is, we are swinging wildly back and forth between extremes over here in America. And it just might be the cocaine. I think maybe, there's a lot of people high on cocaine in the government right now, and that might be a portion of our problem. That's what I'm going to go with. Well, let's, okay, that was, I didn't pre-watch these videos, so you guys are getting these live reactions. That was crazy. Okay, we're gonna jump into this one. I don't know if you guys know who Just Pearly Things is, but Just Pearly Things is like one of the worst red pill people. It's a female, and their whole spiel is that they feel for the men out there, the incels that aren't capable of having sex because women are just oppressing them in their nature, and that women in their nature are just bad people and they're demons and all of this crazy red pill shit. So I just saw she went on Piers Morgan, and I know Piers Morgan kind of gave it to Andrew Tate when Andrew Tate was on there. So I kind of want to see this shit, and I want to see Just Pearly Things talk to Piers Morgan, because I watched another one with her and the dude from H3, I think it is, and she just got absolutely murdered. She's terrible at talking about this stuff. She's a total grifter. She doesn't even believe the shit she's saying. It's 100% for certain she doesn't believe the shit. So let's take a look at the video.
See, Piers Morgan, so Pearl Davis has racked up a legion of online followers and plenty of breathless newspaper coverage by sharing her incendiary views on modern feminism. The New York Post called her the female Andrew Tate. So she tapped into genuine female pushback to the excesses of wokery, or is she just an attention seeker? We'll find out in a moment. But first, let's take a look at the clip that sent her viral.
A lot of people think I'm insane because I don't think women should vote. Everybody thinks I'm crazy for this opinion. If anything...
Okay, if you start the video with, a lot of people think I'm insane, you're probably insane.
This is probably my most extreme opinion. 90% of women have been on birth control. 1 out of 3 women has had an abortion. 1 out of 3 women has an STD. Average body count is over 5, so that your average wife has slept with over 5 people. 95% of women are not virgins on their wedding days. So I understand the complaint.
Okay, and just one of the things about Just Pearly Things is she's the Donald Trump of red pill. She makes up statistics non-stop. She has no fucking clue as what she's speaking of. Every time she debates anybody, she just gets absolutely fucking wrecked. So first of all, probably 5 out of 6 of those statistics were completely incorrect. Also, none of those statistics mean that women shouldn't vote. None of them. That's fucking insane.
Okay, well, Pearl joins me now alongside political journalist Ava Santini, who was nodding furiously along there to everything she...
Oh, dude. Is that her, opponent? Because she does not look happy.
Heard?
She looks very awkward and uncomfortable.
Right, Pearl, you've be called the female Andrew Tate. How do you plead?
Well, I take it as a compliment. You know, I'm a fan of Andrew Tate.
Of everything he says?
Okay, first of all, I don't believe she's a real ginger, guys, so I don't think she can be claimed. If she is, then it actually makes sense that she's selling her soul because she has no soul. So, in the end, if she is actually a ginger, the selling your soul part doesn't work, okay? So she's actually getting off scot-free.
It depends what we're talking about, but overall, I think he's got a good message. I think he's good for young men.
Okay, look, you're talking about women predominantly, which is why you've got this big following. And your view is that modern feminism is deeply flawed. I would argue a lot of your proposals, like taking the vote away from women, are deeply regressive. Mm-hmm. Why would you want to remove, just from yourself, the right to vote?
Well, what happened was I had the same view, right? Back when I started, I was like, why? I found out that only 5% of women wanted the right to vote. And I couldn't figure out, why would women not?
Wait, what? See, this is what I'm saying. No fucking way. No way is that a true statistic. That is, probably a incredibly manipulated study. 100%. Everything that she quotes is, out of this world unreal. She is wrong, there's all kinds of Andrew Tate, Michael Certain, Rollo Tomasi. All of them have their quirky points of view and their weird ways of twisting to statistics to be no, this is why this is actually real. But she's the worst of all of them because the other ones actually really kind of get in depth in their research and study of these statistics, and they have a working argument. They're all wrong, but they have a working argument. She doesn't even have a fucking working argument. Her eyebrows look real? Yeah, probably. You're probably right, DJ. She's pretty... It's just... It's the complication of not having a soul. When you don't have a soul, these type of things come easily. Selling out and, just fucking throwing an entire gender under the bus.
No, it's true. It's true.
At the time.
At the time.
Because they've been conditioned by men to think that they shouldn't have a vote.
I mean, that's what they say, but I started reading their writings, right? And what I found out was that the reason a lot of women advocated for it was because they believed it was the beginning of the breakdown of the family. Before you became one in marriage, 85% of people were.
How does that have anything to do with the family? The woman being able to vote, how does that in any way have to do with the breaking down of the traditional family? Like, if it does, then the traditional family probably doesn't need to exist. Because if the fucking first stone that was pulled from the wall was women voting, then the traditional family wasn't a workable thing.
Were married. And, I hate to say it, but they were right. What has happened 100 years later?
What's that got to do with them having the vote?
Well, it also goes back to responsibility. Again, men are 80 to 90% of the military. They run all of the...
Oh, God, she's going to make the argument. So this is the argument that these red pill people always make. Women shouldn't be allowed to vote because they're not drafted into the military. So that has, first of all, there hasn't been a draft since Vietnam. Was Vietnam even a draft? I don't think Vietnam was a draft, was it? Yeah, there was. So there hasn't been a draft since Vietnam. So first of all, fucking, what is that, 50 years ago? Second, like, that's a ridiculous thing to say, because what she's going to say is, you shouldn't be able to vote for somebody that could potentially, you shouldn't be able to vote for a president that could potentially send you to war if you're not going to go to war. But that's stupid, because women can join the military now. I know it's fucking insane to know that, like, less than a decade ago, we finally decided that women are allowed to fight on the front lines. Like, that's, like, crazy. If a woman wants to fight on the front lines, I don't see why she wouldn't. This is, like, 75? Yeah, trad wife. No, DJ, here's the fucking most hilarious part about this. As much as she cucks for all these red pills, as much as she grifts off of them, and she has millions of viewers, or millions of subscribers. I don't know about millions of viewers, but she has like 1 million subscribers. As much as she fucking simps for all these incel dudes, she's single, she has no children, and I think she's like 36. 27? No, she's like 27, because she's saying something like, anybody that's over the age of 26 that's a woman has no chance to get married. So in her own words, she believes that no man wants her. And maybe that's why she does this shit. She wants to be a trad wife, yeah, but it's not going to happen.
Infrastructures that make society run. So I just think if we want an equal say in society, then be equal. Do 50% of the hard jobs. Be 50% of the military.
Do 50% of the hard jobs. What does that even mean? 50% of the hard jobs. I'm sure being a fucking carny is a hard job. How many women are carnies? Most of them are fucking toothless meth addicts. Like, how many... dude, this is just so infuriating. How many women are doctors? How many women are scientists? Like, and why is there a huge discrepancy between the two? Because repression of women have kept women out of these sciences. Like, it all goes back to repression. You can't say women should be 50% of something when the reason that they're not 50% of something is because they've been repressed from being those things. It's fucking insane. She's insane.
In the U.S., they're fined $250,000 if they don't join selective service, which is essentially the draft.
Okay, but specifically on the vote, what would having the right to vote have to do with family?
You called it, DJ. She's a female incel. I didn't think about that. She's one of them. One of us. One of us. One of us.
Cohesion, for example.
Well, because again, before you weren't trying to divide a family. It was one family unit. You had one vote for the family. I mean, I don't think it's good for...
What? That makes zero sense. One vote for the family? That's not even true. If the son is over 18 years old, that means that there's multiple votes for the family. Like, her arguments are all like the worst arguments. Oh Jesus, Redonk, you're here. Yeah, we're not recapping. You're just gonna have to watch it fresh, bro. You're just gonna have to catch up. How many fingers you got, Redonk? How many fingers? I'm gonna ask everybody that joins up and talks in chat. How many fingers you got today, bro?
For a family to have 2 votes.
Ava, your mouth seems to have dropped about.
No, do you know when it's sort of
I know.
it's just sort of a bit galaxy brain. I feel like, the stats that you're putting down are perhaps correct in some universe.
Which stats?
They just kind of don't really add up. I mean, just to take you back to the to the women's writings that you've allegedly read. I mean, at
allegedly.
The time, well, at
what
the
do you
time
mean allegedly?
At the time that you're talking about, you know, women weren't really allowed to write. They weren't allowed to go to school.
Yes, they were.
Write.
Yes, they
so
were. That's incorrect. The first female property. The first female property owner was in the 1600s. The idea that women couldn't work.
The first female property owner. She's like, look, there was like one woman. Okay, definitely one woman that owned property. This is the same fucking argument people make when they're like, black people own slaves too, dude. It's like, yeah, like fucking 3 of them, okay? There's like fucking, the total percentage of white slave owners versus black slave owners is fucking incredible. It's like 99.9% were white people and like 0.000000001% were black slave owners. The number of women that own property compared to men during the 1600s, I guarantee you, is a similar expression of statistics. Oh, Jesus Christ. We finally have a mod. I know, things were getting out of hand. I don't even know why I have a mod. You have 9? Good job, Redonk. I'm glad you didn't lose any more fingers. Yeah, you know what that chant is from, James. You know what that chant is from. I just like that somebody got that reference. Thank you, James.
I'm so sorry, but that will be inherited property.
The first female.
It was an inherited property. It was an inherited property. This is what I'm saying. She never knows her statistics. It was an inherited property. And, oh, yeah, I should have known that. I know that for, God damn it, man. Sometimes, have you ever had somebody, like, in an argument or just a conversation, you're talking to somebody about something and they say something so stupid that you can't answer it? Like, literally, your brain shuts down and you're like, I should know the fucking answer to this, and I know this answer, but right now, the thing that just came out of your mouth is so fucking stupid that I can't. I just can't. I can't talk now. This is what happens to me every time I watch a Just Pearly Things video. And I watch too many of them, guys. It's like hate porn. Like, I just watch this shit to just be like, it just fries my brain. And I think I kind of like it.
Late 1800s.
And was that inherited?
No, it wasn't. It was self-made. Yes, it was.
Self-made.
Yes, it
and
was.
She never inherited land.
Yes, she did not inherit it.
What law permitted that?
What
law permitted that?
Well, there was no law. I mean, there's always been women that were influential.
Let's get on to the vote. So what I don't understand is, you know, a part of your message, I've researched you today, and hang on a minute.
Okay.
You know, your big push is that you care about men and you don't think that men are getting enough of a say. But
I care about
hang
women
on,
too.
I haven't made the point yet.
Okay.
Because of feminism, okay? What I wonder is when you start making calls out like repeal the 19th, women shouldn't be allowed to vote, how is that helping young men? Because these young men have women in their lives, they have mothers, they have sisters, they have teachers, and they turn around, they don't know how to act around women because you're giving them license to be misogynistic.
I wouldn't call it misogynistic. I say be equal. So again,
how is that equal? How does she not understand how dumb she sounds? Oh.
Yeah, men do all of that. Well, then, okay, I'd love for the feminists, please apply for the oil rigs. Please go do the hard job.
Okay, there are women in the oil field. That is true. I lived in Bakersfield, California. If you know fucking Daniel Day-Lewis's movie, There Will Be Blood, Oildale is in Bakersfield. There are women in the oil field. Are there many? No, because you know why? Because a lot of women are smart enough not to have to work in the oil field. That is not some kind of reasoning to be like women shouldn't have as many rights as men. I don't know. Does that mean women shouldn't get as much gas as men or something like that? I don't know. Sure, why not? I guess that's fucking stupid. But it makes about as much sense as her argument does. This is fucking insanity. Women don't work in the oil field, so they shouldn't get a vote?
Jobs in society. They're open, they're hiring, because I don't think men or women are equal until we do the equal work. So no, listen, go.
Okay, how many men are single mothers? You know how many? I know how many there are. It's like 12%, okay? It's like, of all the fucking men that have been divorced, it's like 12%. And we can even get into the statistics as to why most men don't actually get custody of their kids. And I thought this was the complete opposite. For years, I thought it was just because men never get custody, that men are always looked at as being the poor provider. Men in like 70% of cases don't ask for custody. Yeah, that's why.
apply to be on the oil rigs, go be a plumber, go be an electrician, go be on the front lines of the military, and then we should have equal rights. But until feminists are willing to do that, I don't believe we should have the freedom without the responsibility.
Okay, but I don't think that I'm physically...
Like, she used the worst possible scenario, like, go work in the oil fields. Like, no, of course that doesn't make sense. If you're smart enough not to work in the oil fields, then you don't work in the oil fields. The only people that work in the oil fields are people that have to work in the oil fields. I know. I grew up with those people. I know them. They didn't want to work in the oil fields either. Speaking of fingers, I know a guy that in the oil fields lost all 4 of his fingers. All 4 of them got cut off, okay? He then had them sewn back on. He fucking recuperated, went back to work, and a big-ass pipe fell down on a line. He had his hands on a line. A pipe fell down, landed on him, took his fingers off again. See, the difference is women are smart enough not to work in jobs where you may lose your fingers, not once, but twice.
built for that. You might be, but I'm absolutely not.
But
you said you were a volleyball.
Wow.
You said you were a volleyball player, and so you've got more strength than I do. I don't think
But
that
I don't
can
have more
do
strength.
those
I don't have
jobs.
more strength than
But
the
I'm not
average
going to take your right away to
I don't
do
have
it.
I don't have more strength than the average man. But again, it goes back to go be a plumber. You want to be equal, go be equal.
Go be a plumber. She has the weirdest jobs that she wants fucking women to, like, there's not enough women plumbers.
You also, but you want divorce to be made illegal.
Yes.
Why?
Yes, because I don't think what we have today is really marriage. What is marriage?
Dude, she doesn't believe any of this. Look at her. She's smiling. She's like trying not to smile. She doesn't believe any of this shit. She just knows that there is a million incels out there that are just like, oh, God. A woman that believes that I'm not the reason I don't get to have sex. Oh, my God. No. 100% you're the reason you don't get to have sex. It's not women, dude. I can fucking tell you this right now. Like, I grew up with dudes that should have never, ever had sex in their life. They totally had sex. In fact, a lot of them have children. It's not them, it's you. It's not them, it's you. 100%.
It's for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health, till death do us part. That's what marriage is supposed to be. But feminists have ruined marriage for the people.
Dude, I don't want my wife to be stuck with me. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Divorce should be illegal. Like, do you know how many fucking abusive relationships there are in America? Do you know that, like, fucking, it's one of the, like, number one, I think it's actually the number one cause of women dying is domestic violence. Like, gun violence. Domestic gun violence is the number one cause of death by a firearm for a woman is domestic violence. You think divorce shouldn't be legal? There's no fucking way she believes this stuff.
People that actually believe in marriage.
How?
When there's a 50% divorce rate and the average marriage
Why is that all
8
down to the
years.
women, though?
I didn't say that it was all down to the...
But she wants to say it's all down to the women because what she's going to do is she's going to quote that 83% of all divorces are initiated from a woman's side, which also, just to begin with, first of all, that's an old study which has been showed that it is flawed. Besides that, she doesn't go into detail as to why these women ask for divorces. 83% of women ask for divorces because of problems like domestic violence, which is almost always from the man's side, cheating, which is, once again, almost always from the man's side, and from what she's going to say is almost all of these divorces are things that are filed as being called irreconcilable differences. I mean, what does that even mean? What does that even mean? It means basically that it's the most easy thing to put on a divorce and everybody does it. It has nothing to do what those differences actually were and what led to them being there. It's just the easiest thing to say when you go to get a divorce. She just misinterprets statistics consistently throughout the entire time she's on shows.
The women.
So why feminists?
You asked why I want divorce to be banned.
Yeah.
Can I finish that first? So I'm saying, the people that believe in divorce, go be in long-term relationships. Leave marriage for the people that actually believe in for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health, till death do.
Yeah, but our laws literally make it so the only way that we can get tax breaks, the only way that we can get fucking, certain perks like healthcare and stuff cheaper is through marriage. It's like saying that, oh, well, you shouldn't get married. You should just be in a long-term relationship. Okay, then there's no protections for when you buy a house together. There's no protections for when you have a certain income. Like, it doesn't make any sense to say that divorce needs to be banned. That's the stupidest fucking solution to this problem. There might be other solutions to this problem, but that one definitely isn't it. Some people put milk in their tea after the hot water. I can't put milk in anything, Saul. I can't do that. Lauren Boebert? Yeah. Well, I guarantee you, our good friend here, Just Pearly Things, is definitely a Lauren Boebert supporter, for sure. Dude. Yeah, exactly, DJ. Everybody believes when they first get married that it's fucking right. Of course. There's some marriages, that are done for other reasons. But I would say the majority of marriages, the people think that it's going to last. Yeah, she's just crazy. She is psychotic.
But doesn't the sanctity of marriage also rely on the woman being a virgin? So you wouldn't be able to get married.
What do you mean?
Well, you've spoken quite openly about how you're not a virgin, and so if you want to preserve that sanctity of marriage, then I just think that you're upholding standards that you don't actually.
And that's a fair complaint. I wish I was. But, we can't go back. I don't know what you want me to say.
Yeah, but I just don't think it's fair that you get...
I don't know what you want me to say. She wants you to admit that you're a moron and that your points of view are strictly for grifting purposes and that you'll just stop doing it and go away and the world will be a better place. That's what she wants you to say.
You get to be here and you get to be paid for your views, and you're telling other women that they shouldn't be allowed to.
I think
hang on. Okay, if I may, at some stage jump in. Isn't the whole point of being a feminist, though, that women are entitled to have their own views?
Absolutely.
So she's perfectly entitled to her views.
Yeah, but you can't.
You might not like them.
I'm here to challenge
isn't she exercising her right as a... Are you a feminist?
No, I am not.
Really?
No, I wouldn't go that far.
You don't want to be a feminist?
No, because I think if feminists really believed in equality, but you guys don't, I would love for you. There is an oil rig hiring. There is an engineering
I would actually love to see Ava Santin on an oil rig.
No, seriously.
Dude, she uses the worst fucking analogies. Engineering is literally one of the STEM fucking programs or whatever. They're trying to get more women into engineering as we speak because they feel like there's not enough opportunities for women in those areas. And that's not even to say that that's what women want to do. The point about equality doesn't mean we all do the same things. It means we all have the same rights. It doesn't have anything to do with all of us doing the same things. We all have value. Every human has intrinsic value. That means innately there's something that's worthwhile. Whether or not you ever bloom or blossom into being a person that can use your intrinsic value to be of any worth to society, well, that's all up to you. And guess what? Men suck at it sometimes, women suck at it sometimes. It has nothing to do with we all have to work the same jobs. That's just ridiculous. It all comes down to we should all have the same rights. There is no fucking question that we should have the same rights, regardless of race, regardless of ethnicity, regardless of even religion. I'm not religious. You still deserve the same rights as I do, okay? Gender doesn't matter. Height, weight, it doesn't matter. Age doesn't matter. We all deserve the same rights.
Seriously, there is a building being built next to my building. Go do it, feminists. Go do it. And me, I'm
doing the same job that I'm doing right now.
When you find the man you want to get married to, are you saying you will be with that man whatever happens the rest of your life?
Yes, for the vows that we're supposed to live by.
How do you know you can keep them?
I mean, I think it's a choice. And that's the thing, women are so willing to leave marriages because they're not happy. This is not about happiness. The most important thing is the children. And the problem is we have a modern society where it's me, my feelings, leave when I feel like it, instead of doing what's best for the kid.
Yeah, that's not true, though. That's once again, I'm going to point out that she's not correct. In a situation where there's a domestic violence issue, that's not the best thing for the kids. If the mother is beating the husband or the husband is beating the mother, staying in that is not good for the children. I mean, this girl came from a fucking podcast where a dude literally said that if a woman's being domestically violent, being beaten, that she should, endure. She should just endure it. So I understand where she gets that point of view from these fucking moron dudes that she likes. But that's insanity to say that the best possible thing to do is just endure the relationship because the children will be better. There's like a fuck ton of studies and statistics that show that a child's mental health is completely impacted by the partnership of the mother and father and how they react to each other. So if there is violence in that, if the children see violence, if the children see mom or dad, either one, arguing and fighting all the time, that's not good for the mental health of the child.
Ava, I've got to say, it's a little bit listening to Andrew Tate where some of it I really don't agree with. I don't agree with the vote stuff. When I hear things like that, I think there'll be a lot of people, especially older generation women perhaps, who think, you know what, she's got a point.
Well, I mean, I believe in agency, so I think that if a woman is going to look after her children in divorce, that's absolutely fine. I also believe in your right to speak your mind about it. What I don't understand...
I'd like to say, even before the 1920s,
Do you know what I mean?
women could speak openly. This idea that, like, women couldn't talk the last 500 years, there have been women throughout
history... I know, but the American state education system has failed before, and it's failing now.
There have been women throughout history that have read, written, and been very influential in society.
Okay.
So this idea like women could never do it.
Do you know what I don't understand though is when it gets spiteful, okay? Because you put down a few arguments that I think are perfectly, like, you know, they're kind of evangelical and they're Christian, but those are your right to say it. What I don't understand is when it kind of seeps into this sort of, you call women fat, you say that they shouldn't have abortions, you say that they have STDs. You know,
I mean, the question is, are they fat? Yes or no? The average American woman is 170 pounds. That's objectively overweight.
I mean, let's be honest. We now celebrate morbid obesity as some kind of body
Piers
positivity, and it is complete nonsense. So actually, on that point again, there's a bit of truth in that.
This is the problem.
How have we come to celebrate morbid obesity as body positive? It's nonsense.
We're not talking about morbid obese. I was actually watching your podcast earlier, and you spoke to someone who was, I would say, probably a size 12, and you called her fat, obese, and a divorcee.
She was fat, obese, and a divorcee.
wasn't.
I mean, like, I don't know what to say. This is the thing, women, we don't want to live in reality. We don't want to say things that are true. Was she fat? Yes. Was she a divorcee? Yes. These things are just objective facts.
Okay, I'm going to have to objectively...
And she insulted me first. They always do.
I'm going to have to objectively end the debate, but it was an interesting conversation. I think we should get you two back together as a matter of urgency. Thank you very much, Pearl. Thank you, Ava.
I don't think that was a debate at all. Holy shit. I just saw that, and I was like, I have to see Piers Morgan doing this. This is, like, too much. Watch, yeah. This is why I keep asking you guys about your fingers. I gotta make sure you guys all got your fingers. You guys see this shit? This guy's got some sausage fingers. Jesus Christ. Have you guys... do you guys know of anybody that lost fingers? This is every 4th of July. You gotta make sure everybody still got all their phalanges. Because of this shit. This is the shit right here. I hope Redonk's still watching, because this is... As soon as I saw this, I thought about him.
Tonight, new details on an explosion during a private fireworks show in Park Township that killed one person and injured 9 others.
It happened Monday night on Main Street, not far from Holland. News 8's Demetrius Sanders is live in Ottawa County with the latest tonight. Demetrius?
Well, the Ottawa County Sheriff's Office says that the explosion is believed to be an accident. Captain Jacob Sparks says that the device that exploded was not a commercial firework, but it was intended to be used to launch fireworks. Sparks says a possible failure caused it to explode, sending shrapnel and other metal debris through the air. Now, today, deputies also releasing the name.
Hold on. Is that because of the explosion? Look at that. Did the explosion knock all those beers into the trees? Or is that exactly how shit-faced people were getting before they decided to blow themselves up?
Today, deputies also releasing the name of the person that died during the incident. 41-year-old Jana Daniels of Holland. Daniels died from a cardiac laceration caused by the shrapnel. Now, as for the 9 people that were injured, at least 5 have been released from the hospital. The other 4 are still hospitalized, but they are expected to survive. Here's Sparks with more on the device that exploded.
I've heard people refer to this as a pipe bomb. Let me answer that. I don't believe this was anything intentionally set. I don't think anybody...
It sounds like it was a pipe bomb. Literally 9 people were injured and 1 person died with a laceration to their heart. That sounds like a pipe bomb. Phalanges? I think I learned the word phalanges from a movie a long time ago.
He created this device to try to cause harm or to try to explode. I think it was an accidental explosion that occurred while someone was trying to set off a firework.
He's just like morons.
Now, Sparks says it's
so
too
many
early
morons
to tell at this time if anyone will be charged, and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives is also assisting with the investigation. Live in West Olive, Demetrius Sanders, News 8.
Wait.
Tonight.
Okay, so holy shit. They killed somebody. I don't think Redonk, you haven't killed anybody with a firework yet, right? I mean, you're still going pretty strong on that one, right? I'm not trying to incriminate you on stream or anything like that, but no one's died, right? Okay, what am I looking for? Hank Kunneman, July 4th National Anthem. Just a mortar tube that blew up, dude. Not even that big a deal. Not even that big of a deal. Hank. How do you? Is that the proper way to spell this, man? Apparently, Hank Kunneman. National Anthem. Let's go with that. July 4. Can we just get the... Is this it right here? Who is this guy? DJ, what are you doing to me? DJ, what am I about to watch? Should I pre-watch this? Speaking of obesity, holy Jesus.
Father, we have gathered here tonight to pray for this great nation. And Lord, you have spoken to my heart many years ago, and you said,
why is your quality so bad?
Don't call it America. Speak and prophesy and declare from this moment forward that it is the United States. The United States of America. Come on. We speak that over this nation. It is the United States of America. We decree a thing and it is being established. The United States. Come on, somebody say United States. United States. Yes. The United States. Oh. Let there be a sound of unity.
Okay. All right, now we'll watch it. All right, we'll watch it. Why wasn't I a pastor? You know how much money I could have right now? Fuck, man. I could have had so much money. You said Right Wing Watch has a video on it? Right Wing Watch. Is this her? Yeah, 1 day ago. Okay. All right, here we go. He tried to play. Well, what did you redact there, moderator? Did you just moderate yourself? Self-moderation. Ah, hell yeah, brother. Oh. What the fuck? Oh, there we go. Okay. What are we doing? Is that Twisted Sister? Lee Snyder down there? White people. at that watch. Dude. See? That's what I'm talking about right there. Look at that watch. Look at that shit. Uh-huh. Yeah. That's what you get for playing a bad national anthem. You get a gold watch.
Thank you, Lord. This great land.
What is he wearing?
The land of the...
Dude, he goes to the same fashion advisor as fucking George Santos. That's 100% what George Santos wears right there. Dude, that was the worst rendition of the national anthem I've ever heard, and I've heard some really bad ones. I watch a lot of sports, okay? I've heard some pretty bad national anthems. That's probably... Let's see if it's the worst. It is decreed. It comes in existence. Yep. Exactly, Tamara. Exactly.
Free.
Oh, he's gonna cry. Don't cry, bro.
In the home of the brave. I want him to play our...
Somebody call Quan LX. Somebody call Quan LX. There was an injustice that was done on the 4th of July. Somebody call Quan LX. Dude, we got to make a video about calling Quan LX. Because that guy was fucking apparently the only person that cares. Let's see. Worst. We're going to see where this rates. National anthems. Oh, Jesus. Oh, of course there's fucking Matt Walsh. Fucking Matt Walsh. He's like, women, any woman that sung it, they're all bad. Oh, are the cops? Did the cops do it?
Oh, see, can you see by the dawn's early light was so held twilight at the last gleaming was right, who brought us fight for the rapids we wanted stream and the rocket's red glare, bombs bursting in air, gave to the night that the stars were still there, or still yet wait, brave and free.
Join me in prayer, please.
Oh, fuck. I'm praying for all the people that are there for that. Oh, Jesus, man. Oh, should we watch Jack Black sing it? Let's watch Jack Black sing it. Okay. Okay. Is this Jack Black at a women's basketball game? Jack Black singing the national anthem at a female basketball game. All right. I'm down with it. Dude, he fucking killed it. He killed it. Tenacious D style. Dude. Oh, Whitney Houston. I don't even watch that. That's going to make me cry. Whitney Houston was the greatest. I don't know if you guys love Whitney Houston or not, but Whitney Houston was 100, 1,000, 1,000,000% one of the greatest singers of all time. Whitney Houston, I mean, phenomenal. Amazing. We're trying to watch funny, though. Not
I
like,
want him to play our
not make
great...
me cry kind of stuff. Whitney will make me cry. What the hell?
Oh.
Top 10 oh, fuck. Roseanne Barr. Oh, did you guys see what Roseanne said? We're going to come back to this in a second. Hold on. We'll come back to this in a second. Yeah, YouTube's fine. Roseanne Barr Trump. Can he throw an opening pitch? I don't think Jack Black could get over the plate. No, I don't think he could. This shit. Have you guys seen this?
You know what? Sometimes I think we were too harsh on Roseanne. Let's just check in on her and see how she's doing.
I have this to say as follows, and it's okay I say it because nobody lives the fucking thing I say, which is great. I'm tired of being monitored, and corrected and shit. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
I'm going to say what I'm going to say. Trump, hear me when I say this. Trump is, in my opinion, the first woman president of the United States.
What does that mean?
You know what? Sometimes I think we were too harsh on Roseanne. Let's just
Dude. I don't understand what happened to these people. What happened, man? What went wrong? What went wrong? I think Ariana Grande's was pretty bad, wasn't it? Why U.S. national anthem is terrible and perfect. I was gonna say, hold on, don't talk about the national anthem like that. I fucking love our national anthem.
I am sorry we had to put you through that, but it is the 23rd anniversary of Roseanne.
1990. That wasn't even that. Well, it was a little bit ago. Damn, man. And why was the video so bad back then? It's like half my life I've lived in 1080p, and every time I see a 720p video, I cringe a little bit. I'm like, I'm too pampered now. I'm like in 4K at all times now. I can't do it. Kid Rock fans will drink anything but Bud Light. Oh, we might have to watch that too. Top 10. Oh, here we go. It's the Sports Center Top 10.
The Rockets, red glare, the bombs were seen in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
How did you kind of say that? Oh, the bar was really lowered there. That's not the end of the song.
Whose bright stripes and bright stars and the heavenly light over the ram.
Is that Louis Farrakhan?
Numbers we watch were so elegantly fleeing. At the twilight was gleaming. Whose broad likeness.
Oh my God! No.
But so proudly we hailed at the twilight.
Al Sharpton. That's what I was trying to think of. Al Sharpton, DJ.
Whose broad stripes and bright stars knew the parallel.
Oh no! Oh no! And she's leaving again. And she's leaving again.
From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Oh, say, can you see? And the rockets, red flag. Uh-oh. I'll make up for it now. And the hope of the
Oh, you made a comeback.
Oh, Canada, my native home, my own, known, strong and free. From far and wide, may they stand on guard.
I don't know the Canadian national anthem.
I need the words. I apologize to all the Canadians.
Sports Center Top 10
Holy
is
shit.
brought to you by Bacardi O-Cart. Smooth spot.
Okay. Yeah, why is Canada involved? Canada doesn't count. Canada doesn't count, okay? All right. Tonight we're going to finish with the Patrick Bet David with David Pakman heated debate. And this is because you guys said the PBD was he was a good dude. You guys like the PBD show. I've watched a couple. I think PBD isn't so bad, but some of the people he brings on, it is a little Rogan-esque. Some of the people that come on the show are not the smartest people. I'm just going to throw that out there. They're people with very, very intense opinions about subjects that they don't quite understand. And I like David Pakman. I think that he's a pretty intelligent guy, very well researched. We can see that Kyle Kalinske has signed the locker back there. So I was interested in seeing him with a person that is actually intelligent. Because like I said, I see a lot of kind of I do my own research, bro, kind of guys. And most of the time they haven't done any research. This is literally, I watched the one where they talked about whether or not Peter Hotez should debate RFK on vaccines, and it was some of the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. There's some definite arguments you can make in Rogan's defense of Peter Hotez debating RFK, but none of the people that came on that podcast made even a sensical attempt at it. It was absolutely ridiculous and obviously very partisan. Anyways, let's watch David Pakman. I don't even know what he's talking about here, but I saw David Pakman was on the show, so I wanted to see him with an intelligent person. Smart people in short supply these days. I have noticed. Redonk. I have.
Of the U.S. has dramatically improved
Okay,
since
what?
Biden.
Okay, what?
Opinion of the U.S. has dramatically improved since Biden replaced Trump. I think that matters. I'm not an isolationist, so I think it's important that other countries respect the office of the presidency. And under Trump, it was a joke. Literally laughed at the UN, goes to India, mispronounces 10 Indian names.
And that's one of the weird things about people's rose-colored glasses with Donald Trump is they're like, no, he was great. People really respected him, and it's no one seemed to respect him. He didn't really have. I mean, even now he doesn't have people coming out. Generally, even Obama or even Biden, I'm sure has a couple of people too. People were oh yeah, I really respected him. He was very intelligent. Almost every time somebody asked anybody about Trump, they smirked and were yeah, he's the president, so he did okay. It's never been a good thing to reflect on the past of Donald Trump's presidency. And at the least, yes, Joe Biden, you may dislike his policies, you may dislike who he is as a person with dementia, any of these things, but at the least, everybody on the world stage does seem to respect him.
Names, and the crowd is just leaving. It was a humiliation everywhere he went. So I think that's it's a soft thing that I think is really good.
So the fact that we're no longer feared is a good thing.
I don't know where you're getting that we are no longer feared.
So you think people fear Biden?
What I'm asking you is...
No, see, this is why... Okay, maybe he is part of the problem. This is some of the dumb shit the people that came on his show said. Yes, America is feared. Are you fucking kidding me? We have one of the largest standing armies in the entire world. We have a volunteer army. We have, and yes, we're having some recruiting problems right now, but everybody is, okay? We have more nuclear weapons than everybody. We have the best technology. Like, yeah, people fear America. That's why we're America. If we weren't feared, we'd be having a whole lot more problems right now. Like, it's such a like dishonest and disingenuous question. It's either you truly don't understand what America stands for and how fucking scary America actually is, or you're just asking that to kind of be like, no, we're a bunch of pussies now because you're like under this red pill effect that everybody is just pussies nowadays, which is fucking ridiculous. We have some of the like gnarliest people ever born.
What data do you have that we are no longer feared?
Well, that's not it. That's what data.
No, it is
not,
data.
Any data to give. I mean,
Well, then how do you know it is?
Well, no, but during Biden is when Russia felt comfortable bullying Ukraine. During Biden is even if you look at Afghanistan on the way we left, people on the
No. Even if you look at how Afghanistan, the way we left, Donald Trump was the reason that we left Afghanistan the way that we left. Like, see, this is where I'm saying is like, when I hear these people get on here and talk about shit that they have zero actual idea, I lose a lot of respect for them. I haven't watched enough of this dude's stuff, so maybe I'm wrong. But he doesn't seem to actually know the shit he's talking about.
left were not happy by the way we left Afghanistan.
Which people?
Even 82 billion. I can give you a lot of different names.
Like who?
CIA. Who was the CIA guy that we had here who was on
Philip Mudd
with a Z? What's his name?
Matt Zeller.
Matt Zeller, CIA agent who was on MSNBC. He called him out. He was on MSNBC with.
But that's one person, right?
No, but there's a lot of them though. If I actually,
that's conspiracy theorist for you right there. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them though. I can't name them, but there's a lot of them. They.
Pull it up, and if I do the Google search on it, I'll find plenty of names from them.
Okay, if you can find 100, that's still not very many. If you can find 1,000, maybe that's many. But how many fucking people in all of Biden's administration are going to come out and say that? Because if you look at Donald Trump, I can literally name off Michael Cohen. You can name off any of the William Barr. All these people that like were disaffected by their time with him. Who's the dude with the fucking white mustache? That was Michael Bolton or Bolton. Michael Bolton? Is that his name? His name's not Michael Bolton, right? Oh, fuck. Now I'm going to have to look it up. Bolton. What was that guy's name? Who's the dude with the white mustache? God damn it. Secretary of State? Secretary of Defense? Secretary of State. This guy. John Bolton. John Bolton. Like, there's tons of people that were, now I'm doing it, tons of people that were in his, what was it, the Roger Stone guy went to jail, Michael Cohen went to jail. Okay, we can just look it up. "11 Trump associates have been charged with crimes. Roger Stone, Steve Bannon, Tom Barrack, Elliot Broidy, I don't know who that is, Michael Cohen, Michael Flynn, Paul Manafort, George Nader. These are the people that went to jail. John, thank you, DJ. These are the people that went to jail over Donald Trump. And when you talk about it with these people that Donald Trump has like this really bad presidency where like he employed these people that he said were the strongest candidates for the job, and they all go back to jail, or they all end up going to jail, or they turn on him. How many people have turned on Donald Trump? And you ask these people about it, and they're like, no, like all those people are just like, no, those are people that are just like they're mad at him or whatever. But then you say something like, okay, well, actually, how many people said that Joe Biden did a bad job in Afghanistan? Which, once again, I'm going to point out that was Donald Trump's plan that Joe Biden came in afterwards and dealt with. And they go, oh, well, you know, that's one guy, but there's a bunch more. There's a bunch more. Like it is one guy though. It matters. It's like, no, it doesn't equate. You're not equating the two things. If all of these people going to jail or turning on Trump isn't that bad, then one person saying that they don't like how he pulled out of Afghanistan isn't that bad either. Like you can't say those two things. Oh, did I leave the fucking video? Of course I did. Oh, there it is. Okay. They're the best people. They're the strongest people.
Their own side.
Let's do it. That's fine. But I think one important thing to back up is you first kind of gave me what's not really a very fair question. You go, are you not worried that the U.S. is no longer feared?
So you're saying they don't fear you?
But hold on. Let me finish my response. Okay.
Yeah.
You first presented to me, and these are a lot of conversations go like this. You present to me, is it not a concern to me that the U.S. is no longer feared? And I said, well, where are you getting that? Where's the data? You go, there is no data. So let's first start with.
What I said is this.
That's a dishonest argument. No, you did say that. He did say there was no data. It's a dishonest argument. You can't present a question and then when the person disagrees with your opinion, because this is an opinion-based process, your position, sorry, not process, opinion-based position. So you can't say, I think that the United States of America is no longer feared. And then the other person says, well, I disagree with that. What is your proof that they aren't feared? When you say, well, you can't really, this isn't a data-driven, this is exactly what you said, this isn't a data-driven argument. You can't say that. Then it's opinion. Then my opinion is just as much value as your opinion is.
Patrick.
It's not the fear. I didn't say there's no data. You can't pull data. Meaning you can't find data on fear.
Then how do you know?
Then there's no data. Then there's no data. That's literally what he's saying.
Action. Fear is action. Did during Trump Russia attack Ukraine?
No, that's not. Yeah.
What happened with Palestine and Israel?
What happened?
What happened? They came together after 20-some years.
What?
What?
What are you talking about?
What the fuck is he talking about?
Hold on.
Well, he moved the capital to Jerusalem, is what you're saying.
So let's. I don't know if there's been.
That did the fucking opposite. Are you kidding me? You guys think this guy's smart? Oh my god. Tell me you guys don't think this guy's smart. Jesus Christ, did he just say that that Donald Trump moving the capital to Israel made Palestine and Israel come together? Holy shit, dude. There's no way you guys think this guy's smart.
And peace in the Middle East or anything like that.
Has there been any progress on peace?
Very limited.
It wasn't the capital. Did moving the embassy?
The embassy.
Hold on
correct,
a second. Let me ask the question. Did moving the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem get us closer to peace, or did it get us further away? Do either of you guys know? I don't know if you've studied this issue.
There's arguments on both ends, but it has not led to peace and prosperity in Palestine, correct?
Did Trump promise, this is a very critical, clear question. Did Trump promise that Jared Kushner would solve the Israeli-Palestinian conflict during the first term? Now,
that's
just a yes, no. Did he promise it?
I don't know if he promised it or promises made, promises kept. He was assigned to that duty.
And did it happen?
Did what happen?
Did Jared negotiate peace?
But I don't think anybody believed that peace was happening.
But that's ridiculous. Like, that's the kind of stuff that people say on both sides, and I fucking hate hearing it from both sides is, oh, well, yeah, when my guy's doing it, it doesn't make sense to think that you thought that he was really going to do it. Yeah, if you come out and say that you're going to do something, yeah, I expect you to fucking make an extreme effort to get it done and, yeah, accomplish it if that's what you're running your fucking campaign on. Yes, I do expect you to do it.
So it's okay for him to make promises that are obvious lies?
But make the argument. Go back to the argument about the fact that America on all polls today is, would you say, liked? What was the word you used?
So I think the really important thing when we talk about this is we talk about what we can measure. So the Gallup polling that has been done.
So you trust polls?
Oh, come on.
Yep. See, here we go again. Jesus Christ. This guy, I'm sure he's a fine podcaster. I'm sure he's a good moderator. But when he enters into a discussion that's anything above like meathead level, he doesn't make good points. He doesn't. I'm sorry if this is a guy you guys like, but he does not make good points.
But that's where we're going, though.
There are lots of different...
I trust certain polls too, but I'm saying, so you trust polls.
If you say, do I trust a Rasmussen Republican primary poll 18 months before an election, I would say that's not very valuable. I don't think that's valuable. The Gallup public opinion sentiment poll that has been done over many, many presidents in the same way, I think that that's a pretty good poll just to give a sense of how the world feels about the American president. I have no reason to distrust that. There are other polls where I would have a specific reason to distrust. But we're kind of going like 10 tangents here. I think if we want to talk about, am I upset that the U.S. isn't feared? Since you brought that question forward, the appropriate thing would be for you to give me the data.
But no, go back to what you said. You said U.S. is what? You said you like the fact that U.S. is liked more.
Yeah, okay. In the words of Michael Scott, okay, do I want to be feared or do I want to be loved? I want them to be afraid of how much they love me, okay? Yeah, we should want to be loved. That's not a bad thing. If we have this weird thing in our society, and I think it's because a bunch of dudes ran this country for way too fucking long, maybe you need like female presidents. Maybe like just dudes should just get the fuck out of it for like 5 minutes and just let women run everything. Because there's like this ultra masculine like opinion that we should like everybody should be scared of us. Everybody should be scared of us at all times. Like that's what it's about. It's like, no, that's not what it's about. Like you should garner healthy respect from people. This is just like in your real life. Like your family shouldn't fear you. Like your kids shouldn't fear you. Your wife shouldn't fear you. You should have healthy respect from other countries. You should have healthy respect from your partner. You should have healthy respect from your children. Like we have this weird masculine thing where it's like we have to be feared. We have to be feared. Everybody's got to be scared of us. Like, you know, when I grew up in a real bad area, I was never worried about people that talked. And I was never scared of people that talked about how badass they were, how they fuck a dude up, all that stuff. The person that I was always concerned about it was the dude that was like very confident, very quiet, very confident, didn't need to say much about it. Because that dude, when my best friend's brother-in-law, his name was Roy, and when that dude wanted to knock a motherfucker out, he knocked a motherfucker out. And I mean that. I watched him knock people cold out. Like, he never had to tell anybody he was going to do it. He never had to talk shit. In fact, most of the time he looked like he was just like, psh, man, just shut up. Just let it go. Just move on. And then he pushed him and knocked him out. No shit. It was never the dude that talked a bunch of shit. It was never the dude that's super fucking loud. Because most of those dudes are super insecure. So when I hear dudes talking about, shouldn't we be feared? And I'm getting a little bit ahead of dude here. I'm projecting, okay? But when I hear dudes say shit like that, it speaks of insecurity. That's in my opinion. And when you speak of insecurity on like a national level, I also start to think maybe on a private level, you're pretty insecure as well. Yeah, respect should not come from fear. Respect from fear doesn't last. Respect from fear does not last.
Or today under Biden?
No, I didn't use that term.
What was the term you used? If you don't mind saying it again.
On average, countries respect the U.S. more now that Biden is president.
And
Trump
you value that.
Yeah. I think it's important because can I tell you why?
Sure.
I think it's important because between trade and globalization and problems we deal with that don't respect the borders of countries, it's important to be, again, it's not about liked, it's not about, it's to be respected globally. I do think that actually matters.
So why do you think they didn't like or respect Trump? Let's see what you're going to say with that.
Why
do you think? Tell me.
The guy's a joke.
He is?
Yeah.
Okay, tell us why. And Biden's not a joke.
Well, we can talk about Biden.
Oh, because Biden's like the GOAT and Trump's the joke.
No.
Okay.
See, he doesn't make good arguments, dude. He just gets defensive. Once again, it shows insecurity. Like, no, people don't like Donald Trump because he's abrasive. He's super fucking abrasive. I work in business. I can tell you there are times when you're a little aggressive. There are times when you give. There are times when you take. But there is definitely not just like an overbearing, bullying, aggressive tactic that wins. There isn't. It's not how business works. And when we're talking about business on the national level, when you're talking about the United States of America, working with China, working with the EU, working with any other country, India, Russia, it's about respect. And you don't get respect by being utterly abrasive and moronic. That's not how you get respect from people. That's anybody that's ever been in any real business knows that, and that's why I know that Donald Trump is a poor businessman.
Okay, so
I'm
so
critical
tell us
of
why
Biden,
he's a joke.
But I think it's important to say, are we talking about Trump or are we talking about Biden?
No,
we
no.
can talk about both,
identify
but let's
both.
talk about them one at a time.
Stay on Trump.
Okay,
Stay on Trump
fair.
when he says he's a joke. Tell us
Okay.
why you think he's a joke.
Promises made that were not kept that he told us he was going to achieve for us. Let's look at some of them. I'm going to get rid of Obamacare and replace it with, his word, a beautiful replacement where everyone will have care and it's going to be affordable. Okay. Just flat out didn't happen. The one proposal that Republicans made would have led to 24 to 32 million people losing health care. I consider that a failure. I don't think Obamacare is perfect, but it's better than the thing Trump said he was going to bring us. That was just a failure. 2, build a wall across the entire U.S.-Mexico border, which Mexico is going to pay for. It's not even worth having a conversation. I mean, just a joke. Of course, completely didn't happen. Solve the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. No progress made. In fact, to be honest, and this is, if we want to delve into that, moving the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem got us further from that because it's seen as a sort of a taunting measure if you understand the internal politics.
Yeah, I don't know. There's no way this Patrick Bet-David dude knows anything about the Israeli-Palestine conflict if he thinks that was a good idea. Like, if he thought that was in some way like it moved the conflict in the correct direction, like, I can't even speak to that. There's no, like, I could try to steelman that, and I don't think I could, and maybe that's just a blind spot for me, but that makes no sense. Like, that's literally antagonistic.
Politics of what's going on there. Was going to, made some space travel promises. I mean, I can't think of promises he made that he did keep.
One point I'll disagree with David Packman here. I think Donald Trump was good for the space program. I'll just make everybody mad. I think that Donald Trump did do good things for the space program, and I think that he would do more in that area, specifically because it speaks to his ego. If we were in the space race again, Donald Trump would have been a good president for the space race because he would have put all the money behind us getting to the moon before anybody else, just so he could say he was the person who did it. In fact, wanting to get it done in his first term, so just in case he didn't get elected, we would have gotten it done in his first term, probably in the first 2 years. It would have been completely unsafe. It would have been mostly built by illegal Mexican workers, but it probably would have got done because he just wanted clout. He still wants clout. That's not why he's a clown. He's a clown because all he gives a shit about is clout. He just wants people to remember him. He wants people to think he was the greatest president ever, which is never going to fucking happen. He's not even close to even, top 10. In his next fucking, if he gets elected again, he'll never be top 10 then. He'll just do a bunch of crazy shit to try to get it done.
Other than, I guess, he was going to do tax reform, and he did tax reform. So as a policy matter...
Which, as far as tax reform goes, I have to deal with this, right? With new employees and stuff. He wants to be called sir. Exactly, DJ. That's all he gives a shit about. He just wants to be, somebody important. So bad. He's faked being somebody important for, the majority of his life, and he just wants to be somebody important now. He just wants to finally realize that they call me sir. I can make them call me Mr. President. That's what he's about. That's why he took the documents. It wasn't nefarious. It wasn't shady. He's just a big fucking kid that wants to show people his top secret plans that he took from the White House. That's all. He just wants to be somebody so bad. He's probably his dad. I'm guessing his dad is dead. That's a pretty good guess, right? He's probably still living with this fucking overarching chip on his shoulder. I've heard his dad was a complete asshole. He's probably still trying to make his father proud of him. Seriously, that's probably who he is. Yeah, I don't get why anybody thinks this. So anyways, what I was going to say is, as far as taxes go, you're no longer allowed to claim dependents. You're no longer allowed to claim not liabilities, but you can't claim 0 or 1. You just claim you, and then there's some questions you go through, and that decides what they're gonna pull for your check, right? The reason that is because Donald Trump did do tax reform. Donald Trump did tax reform that made cuts for everybody, but when you look at the percentages of cuts, So when you look at somebody that made, $4,000 or a month, maybe $48,000 a year, you look at their total cut is something like $400, right? But then when you look at like the top brackets of how much money was saved by corporations, by billionaires from Donald Trump's tax cuts, they're like phenomenal. They're insane. They're out of this world. So anybody that thinks like the middle class or lower class in some way really, really just fucking benefited from those tax cuts, we did benefit, but not even close to what fucking corporations and from billionaires, wealthy people that make over $250,000 a year made. Like, no, not even fucking close to what they did. Percentage-wise, yeah, we all got the same thing, but monetary-wise, we lost big. So anybody that tells you like, well, you did the tax cuts and we got tax cuts from that, they didn't benefit us. Maybe if those people were wealthy, then yeah, they did a great job.
A complete and total failure. I do think maybe the First Step Act on criminal justice reform did some good things. I'm sort of glad to give him credit on that. But so, on policy, failure. And then, on rhetoric, we could spend 3 hours just looking at quotes.
So I'm curious to see exactly how you think now. So
Yeah.
If COVID doesn't happen, does he get reelected?
Yes.
Why?
Well, because his followers don't care about policy. I interview them all the time, and I say...
His followers don't care about policy.
They don't care about achievements. They care about Hillary bad, Hillary Marxist, Hillary socialist.
You think Hillary's good?
Did I say that?
No, I'm asking you.
Oh, no. I don't think Hillary was a good candidate, and she's to my right. No, I don't think Hillary's good, but I thought she was better than Trump.
She's to your right.
She's to my right. Yeah, Hillary
So
is
she'd
a
be
very
a moderate conservative Democrat.
Yeah.
In your world.
Yeah.
Got it.
I mean, give me a left-wing Hillary policy.
Yeah, how is she not moderate conservative? See, this is my problem with these guys. It's very dishonest debating because it's just a lot of like. He's not straw manning, but he's attempting to. He's like saying, "So you like Hillary?" Like he said, "Oh, that's a question." But the way, in fact, and the way he states it is very straw manny. It's very like, if he's not David Pakman, and he doesn't answer that correctly, and he doesn't realize what PBD here is doing. I don't know if I feel comfortable even saying that name. If Patrick here. If he doesn't know what Patrick's trying to do here, he's easily trapped in a straw man argument. So I like that the other dude, I don't know who the other dude is, but he seems to at least be attempting to be on David Pakman's level, but neither one of these guys are on David Pakman's levels.
Policy, like a really left-wing Hillary policy.
I couldn't tell you, but that's
Exactly. There is none.
But it's not the point. But you're saying you would much rather have a Hillary than a Trump.
I would rather.
Okay, so go back to...
Much rather, I don't know.
So go back to he gets reelected. Why? Because his voters could care less about policies. That's what you're saying.
Care less.
Fine, no problem. So, but we both know that it's not the right that elects him, and it's not the left that elects whoever on the left. It's whoever's in the middle, the 8 to 12% that kind of says, you know what, I'm going to go this side, this time around, or versus more people come out for... their candidate, meaning a lot of people would...
Okay, so actually I agree with Patrick here. So I'm interested to hear what David says here because I do feel like independents or swing voters, whatever you want to call them, do end up impacting the election in a manner that can swing it either way for a candidate when you're talking about candidates that are maybe 1% to 2% either way to win. So I want to hear what David says here.
Come out for Obama. Okay, so explain yourself.
What it actually more depends on is who chooses to go out and vote. It's less about, there's often this idea in politics, and there's lots of people who are really good on this issue that you could talk to, Rachel Bidikofer and even Frank Luntz, even though he's partisan, I think he would concede this as well. He's on the right.
pollster, you mean,
Yes.
Frank Luntz, yeah.
The idea of the swing independent voter that sometimes on presidential elections will vote for a Republican and sometimes a Democrat, very, very small percentage of people. More common is that a candidate either
Okay, so I do agree with that because what he's saying is, like, more likely than not, I vote for a Democrat, right? Because I've said this before, I'm for the most part a single issue voter, and that's abortion. Like, I'm pro-choice. And so I think that that's one of these issues that oftentimes with Republicans, I can agree with them on some like fiscal stuff. I can agree with them on certain like, liberty stuff. But I can almost never agree with them when a candidate is 100% pro-life, looking to ban abortion, looking to put, like Trump did, to load the Supreme Court with Republican candidates to overthrow Roe v. Wade. So I think what he's saying here, if I understand right, is that it's not so much that independent voters don't vote. It's that most of the time they probably vote for the side that they lean hardest to. I lean left hardest. So for the most part, I'm going to vote for a Democrat the majority of the time, unless a Republican makes sense and, most importantly, is willing to allow pro-choice, right? Which almost never happens. So he's saying more or less that it's about constituents getting up and going out and vote, and whether or not you can mobilize more of the people that generally vote for you to come out. So they're not like laissez-faire. Like, they don't care. Like, oh, whatever, my vote doesn't count. That kind of business. That's what I'm guessing he's saying.
Activates people to vote, or those same people just stay home. In the U.S., we have an embarrassingly low voter turnout. It's between usually 52 and 60%, I think. So almost half the electorate isn't even voting. It's less about people who vote one way and then another way. It's more about people who say, I'm just going to stay home, versus I'm going to go out and vote. If they vote, it's clear.
So you're saying that the middle voter doesn't matter at all?
No, I didn't say that.
So what are you saying then?
I said they matter much less than who is partisan chooses to vote.
But it's fair to say that, okay, if he continues, and there's no COVID, he would get reelected. Do you think let's specifically target the middle? Forget the people on the side that would show up. Okay?
Well, but why? That's
the question I want to do with you right now. So if we specifically focus on the middle, the independent, the libertarians, would they have chosen to stick?
Okay, no. See, he doesn't understand what a libertarian is. If he thinks a libertarian is an independent, he's completely wrong. A libertarian is definitely right-leaning, 100%. I know this because I thought I was libertarian. Okay, I've been involved with multiple libertarian groups, and I can tell you they are filled with conservatives from top to bottom, and the occasional person like myself who dives in and goes, yeah, dude, like, I'm totally cool with people doing whatever they want as long as it doesn't hurt other people and blah, blah, blah. And you know what we always come to? You know where we always come to? The biggest problem? None of them are pro-choice. Nope. The weirdest, most ironic fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. You're for all the liberties in the world, but you're not pro-choice. Okay? That doesn't make any sense to me. But if he thinks libertarians are literal independents, then he's incorrect. Like I said, it's more about you lean one way or the other. No one's completely independent. Everybody has views. Everybody lands on one side or the other. I'm pro-death penalty. I'm pro-gun, but I'm pro-choice. I'm pro-fiscal, like conservative values, as long as we're still helping people that are disenfranchised, as long as we're still offering programs for disabled people, as long as we're offering programs for elderly people. So for the most part, I'm down the middle. But I lean pretty hard left because I'm pro-choice. And most candidates that I want to vote for are going to be pro-choice. Therefore, I lean a certain way. Everybody does. There's no such thing as a person that's completely down the middle. I don't know, maybe an autistic person could do that. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I actually mean that in like a good way. Like that they'd be able to make a decision not based off of all the bullshit that we like, all the drama and the fucking fanfare, and maybe they could make a decision. I don't know. I think autistic people may actually be the future of our race. We need them to lead us out of this shit.
Would Trump or would most have wanted to replace him with somebody else?
It's a polling question. I don't have the data.
Well, you're the poll guy, so I'm asking you.
I don't have the data in front of me.
Okay, I'd be curious to know. So but you're also correcting me to say that's not true. That's the middle and the independents that didn't elect him. You're saying it's who showed up that elected him.
As a general concept,
right.
Elections swing less based on independents who sometimes vote Republican and Democrat. That's a small factor. A bigger factor is, are voters activated by their candidate, or are they deactivated where they go, I don't like this person, but I'm definitely not voting for that one. I'll stay home.
So isn't it a bit of both, though?
It's a bit of both.
Because
what
we
I'm
all
saying is
saw
it's
what
more
happened in
one
the
than
Rust
other.
Belt. We've seen countless stories about I voted for Obama. I'm not racist. I voted for Obama.
Okay, saying countless stories. See, this is a conspiracy theory again. This has no actual data, but I've heard countless stories. Yeah, when you hear a certain side speaking out more than the other side, you assume that that's correct, but it doesn't mean that it's true. Just assuming that something's correct doesn't mean that it's true. And when you look at the fact that, in the last two elections between Trump and Hillary, and then Trump and Biden, it was like the most people that have ever voted before, right? I'm pretty sure about that. I know for sure during Trump and Biden's, it was the most people ever. So if you're listening to what David Pakman's saying here, he's actually making a good case for that exact argument, that the most people came out during the Trump and Biden and voted because both of those people activated their voters in a way that was very successful. He brought more Republicans out. Biden brought more Democrats out. And then maybe even they activated more independent voters. I'd like to see whether or not that's true.
What are you talking about? I voted for Bush, then I voted for Obama, and then Trump showed up. He made some promises. He was in the Midwest. He was.
What? Hold on. No. Did he just say that someone came out and said, I voted for Bush, then I voted for Obama? I find that highly unlikely. You're talking about two completely polar opposite candidates. Okay, and I'm assuming something here, and this is completely anecdotal. I've never met anybody ever in my life that would have voted for Bush and then voted for Obama. That would be mind-blowing to meet a person. Somebody in chat has done that. If one of you guys voted for Bush and then Obama, let me know, because I want my mind blown.
He was out there. He was reaching out, touching hands. Hillary was too busy in New Mexico and Arizona. I decided to vote for Trump. I was sort of done with Trump. Now I'm back on Biden.
Yeah,
we see so many stories like that. These independents.
That's an anecdote, and so I think
that is an anecdote. Thank you. And what he said at the end, makes sense. Like, okay, I voted for Trump, but then I voted for Biden because Trump, like I've said before, I don't hate people that voted for Trump. My channel is mostly about making fun of crazy people that vote for Trump. I really do believe that there's splinters in the Republican Party, and I believe that that's the Barry Goldwater conservative Republicans. I believe that there are what are known as Trump voters, and that is people that thought that Trump was going to change. I keep saying this over and over again. I'll say it again. His last campaign ad was fucking masterful in the Hillary Clinton Trump election. His last campaign ad was amazing. Whoever did it deserves a fucking Oscar or a Grammy or whatever you get a kind of award for that. Really brought over people to his side. And then I think the third part is QAnon, and that's full-on cult worshiping. I won't vote for anybody but Trump, and anybody that Trump tells me to vote for. Those are the people that normally wouldn't vote. They don't normally vote, but because they have this cult master that's in charge now, they've came out and voted. This is what Pakman's trying to get to here. So like the last part of what he said makes sense. Saying like, okay, somebody voted for Trump, but then they're like, oh, I should vote for Biden. That's because fucking they realized how much of a joke Trump was. Okay, I should vote for Biden because I don't want the world to go to fucking shit while I still live in it, right? Or my children still live in it. So it's just a smarter choice. Like, it was going pretty bad. Let's not do this. I'm scared. So you were just a Trump voter that hoped he would do something different. This is once again why I don't shit on Trump voters all the time, is because I understand why they wanted to do it. They wanted to change things. We're under this this understanding that we believe that everything is bad at all times. And so somebody like Trump comes along and he says, oh, I'm going to fix all these. I'm going to change things. And people get really fucking excited because they're like, okay, that makes sense. I would love to change the way things are because I think they're really bad. They're not, because we're sitting here having this conversation right now. We have a great fucking system. We really do. Even with people like Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene involved, it's fucking still a great system. Even George Santos. We got to be careful. We're fucking it up. But to act like everything's so bad, we need these like immensely crazy changes. That's how people like that get put in there. And so when I hear about people saying that they're Trump voters that went over to Biden, a lot of times I understand that because I think that they really meant well. I think they wanted to change the political system because we have been selling fear for so fucking long that these poor people took like the most outrageous risk and just threw their hat in with Trump, and they realized it was a bad idea.
I think anecdotes are fine, but one of the things that is important is to zoom out from anecdotes and to look at the broader data. And the other thing that's important is a lot of that cross voting, it cancels each other out because you see roughly the same amount from one side versus the other. And what I mean by that is there was, if you look at the crossover in 2016, the number of Democrats who decided to vote Trump in 2016 was very similar to the number of Democrats who decided to vote McCain in 2008. So it's a roughly predictable.
And that makes sense. That makes a lot more sense because McCain, once again, was the great, what do they call him? The great compromiser, great compromiser. He would reach across the aisle constantly. I actually like John McCain. He's a presidential candidate that I would have voted for if he would not have gotten Sarah Palin as his vice president. He ruined that shit. He fucked that up big.
Number.
You're talking about Democrats who have switched over. I'm talking about just there's legitimate independence.
I'm giving you just one example of this. People who go either way or whatever. It's relatively stable and predictable, so it's rarely a difference maker. That's my only point. And we can anecdotes all day. You know, Jim Bob's wife decided to vote Hillary or what. You know, that's totally fine.
But let's do data because you're a data guy.
Yeah.
So if you're a data guy, tell us when you're saying it's not necessary.
Okay, he keeps asking for data from a person that is, he's asking him to take it from memory. You're sitting in front of a computer, your buddy's sitting in front of a computer. If you're having an honest argument, if you really are trying to make a point here, then you should Google that shit right now. You're sitting in front of a laptop. It's right fucking there in front of him. Google it, figure out the data, have an honest argument. Say, I'm looking at a site right now, a study right now that says that this and this and this and this happened. Please refute that. You know, he's trying to use the other person's inability to memorize every statistic to try and show fault or show that the person is flawed or incorrect about their argument. That's actually a really poor way to do that.
Clearly, that the middle one would have had Trump.
Yeah.
Would he have needed the middle to get reelected in 2024, in 2020?
He would have needed roughly the same percentage that Republicans tend to need. Trump suffered because on the COVID thing, would he have gotten reelected? It's not only if COVID didn't happen, Trump probably would have gotten reelected. I think if when COVID started, instead of Trump saying, we have 15 cases, soon going to be 0, do flu vaccines work on COVID? What about bleach injections? All that stuff. If instead of that, Trump said, hey, you know what? We're the United States. We're going to deal with this better than anybody else. We're making MAGA masks, and by the way, 50 cents on every dollar will go, you know, his normal fundraising scams, right? Do the scams, but do the MAGA masks. And if he said, we're going to be absolutely the best on this 100%. Thing, he wins. We saw it in New Zealand. We saw it in other places. It was a missed opportunity. Now, I think it was just...
Yeah, and this is what I hate about the MAGA crowd. And Tamara, Obama, I love Obama. I'll be honest with you. I know that he had his faults. I know that there's stuff about him that I dislike, specifically some war stuff. But I think Obama is intelligent. I think he did a great job. I think he was an amazing president. And I think that people that hate Obama, I don't call them racist. I think they're idiots. I actually think they're just idiots. I won't even go as far as where most people go with that and call them racist. I just think that they're morons. Period. And mind you, that's a blanket statement. There's plenty of people that dislike Obama for certain reasons that I can agree with. But I found him to be a great president. One of the things that I don't like about Trump supporters is when you say something like what David Pakman just did, you know, hey, all he had to do is say, hey, we're America. This is what every president does. It doesn't matter if you're Republican, doesn't matter if you're Democrat, doesn't matter if you're Green Party, whatever you are. Mind you, no Green Party has ever been elected. But Republican or Democrat, if you're a president, you come out in front of the people during a tragedy or during a hard time in the United States and you say, we're Americans, we're going to stick together, we're going to do this, we're going to get this shit done. And everybody gets behind you. Everybody got behind George Bush during 9/11. Everybody hated George Bush, and everybody got behind him. Everybody got behind him. Why? Because he came out and he said, America's strong. America's better than this. America doesn't have to worry about it. Don't you worry about it. We're going to fucking get this done. We're going to deal with it. And all of us became the most patriotic people of all time, right? Like, everybody was patriotic during that time. All Donald Trump had to do was do that, and he would have probably still been the president right now. He even, I mean, give the man some credit. Operation Warp Speed, the vaccine. Like, his own constituents won't give him credit for the vaccine because they're now anti-vaccine. So they now hate the COVID vaccine so much that the very person who instituted the Operation Warp Speed plan was Donald Trump. It was Donald Trump. Like, they could be giving him all the credit in the world for getting the vaccine produced, and they choose not to because they've already decided that they're anti-vaccine, and for somehow that reason, that gets swept under the rug. Like, nobody talks about that. That seems fucking insane to me. Like, Donald Trump should be going, fuck you guys, I'm the one who made the vaccine. He didn't make it. Thank God he didn't. But he should be claiming that victory, but he doesn't because his own supporters don't want to believe it.
A miscalculation in the sense that somewhere Trump probably thought it was really going to go away. I don't know who was around him. I don't know by Easter of 2020, right? I mean, okay. So I think Trump, even if he had just done that, and because we saw,
why though? Why would he have? Why would the independents, the ones in the middle, who are
because people in the middle, like myself, want to see a strong leader that is serious, that wants to make real change, and that we can depend on when it's needed in times of crisis. So what David Pakman is saying there is actually completely true. That's why we would vote for that person, is because then we go, oh man, we were in a pandemic. He did a great job. He really held it down. He really kept people from going crazy. Everybody went fucking nuts during COVID. Everybody was fighting each other. I had to fucking physically remove people from the store I work at because people were being assholes to each other. For like 3 minutes during the time that Trump was actually doing a good job, when he was like kind of like saying like, oh, don't worry, we're going to get out of this. I'm working on a vaccine, blah, blah, blah. Like, everything was fucking hunky-dory for like 14 days, right? And then after that, everybody started fighting about it because he didn't step in. A dad doesn't sit back and just watch his kids fight, right? Like, you let them, like, hammer it out a little bit. You let them kind of get mad, kind of fight with each other a little bit. But you know at one point or another, okay, hey, you guys are going too far. And then you separate them, and you talk to them. And you explain to them where each other, okay, can't you understand why this person thinks this? Can't you understand why that person thinks that? And your kids generally, if you have good kids, intelligent kids, say, oh, okay, well, yeah, he made me mad because of this, whatever. That's what Trump didn't do. Trump started getting attacked, and he did get attacked, over his policies. And then when that happened, he fucking insulated himself. He started going, you guys don't like me? That's fine. It's fine. Fuck you guys. And nobody that's an independent wants that person for a leader. Not a real independent. That's crazy. And we don't want to see empty seats at holiday dinners. Exactly. Like, when you're telling people it's all going to go away and then their grandmother dies from it, you don't think that has an emotional impact? You don't think that, like, fucking people, like, were mad that did lose loved ones from that? You don't think that that had a huge fucking, that it had any kind of impact, a huge impact on who people voted for in 2020? Yeah, of course it did. Like, anybody, I don't understand this guy's argument.
Let's just say slightly more reasonable, and they're willing to say, I don't like this guy on the left, I'm going to vote right. I don't like this guy on the right, I'm going to vote left.
Yeah.
Why would they have still chosen Trump over Biden?
I have no idea. You'd have to talk to them.
Well,
I just don't know.
But you're given your arguments, and so your arguments you're given is you're talking about polls like Biden because America's more respected under Biden than Trump. Okay,
so that has nothing to do with American voters. We're talking about people in other countries.
But totally get it. Yeah. But when you say something like that, the voter says, "Oh wow, the world respects Biden more than they respect Trump."
Sure.
Okay. Somebody may say, "Well, maybe because anybody who was an enemy of America hated Trump because Trump would."
No, this is a bad argument. This is such a bad argument. He's about to say that people like America more now because America is weaker with Biden as a president. That's not what the poll is based off of. They're not like finding fucking tyrants and despots and being like, "Hey, what do you guys think about this Gallup poll? You wanna vote on that?" Putin isn't in the Gallup poll. Like, fucking, this is a bad argument. Ooh. It drives me nuts when I watch debates like this.
Deal more directly with them than Biden would. Biden, you can't necessarily see him. He doesn't look like a leader. He's not an Obama-esque. He's not a Clinton guy. Biden doesn't come across as a strong leader. But you're saying he's more respected than Trump. Great, no problem.
Okay.
So then I go and I ask you a question and I say, if COVID doesn't happen, does he get reelected? Yes. Why? You say because more people show up, this whole narrative about the fact that you need the middle voter to tip them, that's not true. It's how many people show up, and it's his people because his people don't care if he gets anything done. And that's what you said. That was your narrative, right?
Yeah,
That's what you said. Those were your words.
Some of those words mirror the things that I said, yes.
Okay, so it activates, which means so Trump's voters. So give me, when you say I speak to a lot of these Trump voters, there's obviously a lot of animosity in you. You have a lot of resentment or animosity towards them. I don't know why.
This dude's talking about it. He's like the most defensive person. Like, he's incredibly defensive right now. And he's talking about animosity.
Well, you seem angry and upset towards Trump. I mean, your comments like, towards Trump is boom, voters are this, voters are that.
Well, I think
to you,
the problem may be with that. I have to interrupt that.
But I get that. So what is, and you can answer all those questions and I'll give you your time.
I'm not remembering all of them, but I'll try to write them down.
What is the DNA of a typical MAGA voter in your eyes?
There's not any typical DNA. I think there's basically 3 primary categories of people that vote for Republicans, and Trump introduced a 4th. Fair to introduce these 4 categories?
Break it down for us that we don't have your intelligence.
Well, it's not about intelligence, and I don't know if you're being sarcastic.
Dude. I don't remember which one of you guys told me I should watch this guy. I have very low respect for this Patrick Bet-David guy right now. It's like almost 0.
Sarcastic. It's not about intelligence. It's just about have you researched.
This is your world. Okay, so this is your world. So tell us what you think about the 3 and the 4th.
With your intelligence, imagine what you could do if you looked up the things I look up. That's really the incredible. Yeah. Okay, no. So in all seriousness, 4 basic groups. Pre-Trump, you had 3 groups. You had sort of pro-business, low-tax right-wingers, people like Mitt Romney, basically. Romney maybe isn't a little bit of an exception because as a Mormon, he has some socially conservative views, but you've got like your Romney type who's concerned with let's not overregulate businesses.
I don't know that I agree with that, James. I don't know if I agree with that. He doesn't feel like he's being very fair right now. It feels like he has a position. He's defending his position like it's the last position on earth, and it doesn't seem like he has very good information to back up. And maybe, okay, I'll give him this. I'm watching him in a political debate, which maybe, just maybe, this isn't his forte. Maybe political debates aren't his forte. David Pakman. Yeah. Oh, sorry. My bad. I'm getting these guys fucking mixed up. Sorry. Because one guy is named Patrick David and the other is David Pakman. Now, David Pakman is very fair. David Pakman is being incredibly fair. He's being incredibly patient. Patrick David, like I said, maybe I'm being unfair to Patrick David. Maybe this isn't his forte. Maybe he's not used to being in this. But he has no real, actual, stances that make sense. He's not using any type of information. The questions that he's asking are very dishonest. They're almost all attempts to trap David Pakman in some kind of, really shitty loop. And it's all very... It's not very good, in my opinion. But yeah, David Pakman is doing a great job of being incredibly patient and being as fair as possible in answering these questions without being a complete dick. Because I would have lost my shit by now already.
Let's not have taxes that are too high. Let's create a good business environment. As governor of Massachusetts, that was sort of his idea, and that's a very blue state, and he did well. So you've got your Romney types.
Traditional, low tax, limited government.
Yeah.
Republican,
not extreme
millionaire,
not extreme right on social issues
type people,
not particularly homophobic, for example, or okay. Then you've got your more libertarian-minded people. I found it interesting when you said you're independent and libertarians. In the U.S., libertarians are mostly right-wing, and they mostly vote for Republicans. So then you've got your very libertarian-minded people whose focus is that. We want just as much freedom to do as much stuff as possible. It often includes freedom to discriminate if I don't want to do, like a gay wedding cake. That you've got that group. You then have evangelical and religious voters whose primary things are less economic.
So what was your second one? Second one is
libertarian.
Libertarian. Okay.
Third, you've got
There
your
you go. He's writing it
evangelical
down.
The Mike
religious
Pence
voters.
vote, if you will.
More the Mike Pence vote, people for whom abortion and gay marriage and more recently, trans stuff, that's really the most important. They'll go with the economic stuff, even though it's actually often not good for them. And you started to see this under Reagan a lot, where these religious voters, they went with Reagan, even though economically it wasn't the best thing for them. Those are typically the three groups.
You hear the common term, they're voting against their interests because they have social ideology that they gravitate towards.
So you've got those three groups. Trump had all of that. The early Ted Cruz support in 2016 is that third group, that evangelical. That eventually went to Trump. Trump coalesced these groups because they really weren't going to vote for Hillary. The fourth group, which Trump kind of created, is people who were not at all engaged with politics before. They didn't pay attention. They knew Trump as a celebrity. They didn't really have a political identity.
Exactly.
They were disaffected. They weren't really participating before.
So 4 is his personality, is what you're saying?
Yeah,
Or
yeah. They got brought in specifically.
he introduced that? That's
No. Once again, this guy's going to be wrong. David Pakman is just making the point that a lot more people came out that were attracted to his personality than people normally do. So, like Obama, his personality probably appealed to certain people. Hillary, her personality probably appealed to certain people. But Donald Trump is a stage act. He's literally a fucking stage act. He's a reality TV star. Reagan was an actor. Like, he knew how to play it. There's been lots of people that do it. What Pakman's saying is that more people came out because of the way that Donald Trump was more charismatic in that way. He was a fucking monkey that was put into the job. That's what it was. He was a really talented monkey that ended up in the job. He didn't know what he was doing. When you listen to these tapes from the indictment, Donald Trump's a moron. Like, he's just a big fucking child that wants people, like you said, to call him sir. That's all. That's all he is. He's fucking just wants people to call him sir. He didn't know what to do with the job, and he just got the fucking job, and he didn't even think he was going to.
been around for a while, though.
He introduced what?
You're saying Trump introduced the fourth. You said typically it's 3.
Oh, yeah.
But Trump introduced the fourth, or Trump has the fourth?
Trump
activated
this fourth group, which was people who were not in any of those 3 categories I mentioned and got engaged in politics for the first time because they heard Trump say something that they liked.
Give some examples.
Like, we've literally watched a QAnon video where the people said, I will not vote for anybody but Trump. Okay, so they're literally saying, no matter, even in the future, they're not going to vote for anybody but Trump because they only like Trump, and I will only vote for people that Trump tells me to vote for. So he's 100% correct in this, because this is not like me saying that they'll say that, or David Pakman saying that they'll say that. It's the literal QAnon voters, and that's who they are, QAnon. People saying they will never vote for anybody but Donald Trump. This is the only time they voted. This is the only time they will vote. Or somebody that Donald Trump says that they should vote for. So he's 100% correct.
Of those type of, are you talking about West Virginia coal miners or people in the deep red South?
They were from all over, but it was people who liked that Trump was going to fix trade with China. A lot of them didn't really know what that meant, but it sounded pretty good. Maybe the person had lost a job. They came to believe it's because of China that I lost my job. That sounds good. Or people who are on immigration, they're like, the wall. Of course, you and I know you're never building a wall. Never mind, Mexico's going to pay for it. But there were people who liked the idea, never were in politics, like, no, it sounds good. I'm voting for Trump. So he brought in.
It's also a very visual thing. When you say you're going to build a wall, like, everybody with even the smallest fucking spark of imagination is like, oh, a wall. Wall will stop people. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I'll vote for that guy. Yeah, that's who he's appealing to.
In this fourth group.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the fourth group, to be exact, it's his personality that people were turned on by the way he was.
Could be personality, but it could be that there was one thing he said that they really liked.
So let me ask you a question. Is there something wrong with that? I'm curious. Are you going to a place where there's something wrong with that, or?
No, it's not about right or wrong.
Yeah.
It's a question of whether any of us think that the policy motivations for any of those groups align with ours.
Somebody may say there's a lot of people that showed up for Obama just because he was black.
Sure, they can say that. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
But what do you mean? True? You don't think it's true?
Of course, in a country of 330 million people, there are going to be some.
No, but you said you don't know if it's true. It's like, what do you mean you don't know if it's true? I don't know how
have
many.
any.
Once again, dishonest argument. You know what the fuck he's saying. He's saying, I can't prove it to you. So me saying, I think somebody voted for Obama because he's black, could I conjecture that that's true? Sure, why not? Can I prove that it's true? No, I can't. Like, even people that voted for Obama you would have to literally get them to admit that that happened. Like, that's their choice to do so. So even if they did that for that reason but wouldn't admit it, you would never know it. You can conjecture that that's true. You can say, yeah, I think that that's true. But you can't say that 100%, yeah, that's what they did, because there's no proof. That's what he's trying to say. He's trying to say you can't prove it. This is like, he's trying to catch him in wordplay, but this guy isn't smart enough to do so. I think Redonk made me watch this guy. This is Redonk's fault.
You don't have any data? You want to get data to say people showed up just because they're black?
There's exit polling on most of these issues. We might be able to find it right now.
No, it's.
You're sitting in front of a computer.
I think it's fair to say people voted for him because he was a cool
I cannot even tell you how many people. I knew Republicans who were voting for Obama in the insurance industry just because, like, listen, man, the first time this guy talks like MLK. He sounds reasonable. I'm going to vote for the guy. There's a lot of people that came out with him. So somebody may say, well, the reason why Obama got elected because he's got the three difficult things when he talks to the Democrat, but the fourth thing is he was black.
Okay.
And are you going to say what?
Yeah, that's fine.
I would say, yeah, I'm sure that there's a portion of people who vote based on that.
So you're...
Yeah, see, this guy thinks he's, like, fucking super smart. Like, no. Like, fucking yes. Of course that was a portion of why he was erected. Of course that's a point of why he was elected. The fifth. Fatty, what's happening, buddy? Fucking it's the fifth. Always plead the fifth. And remember, you always shut the fuck up.
You're saying the DNA of a Trump MAGA voter who looks past policies. So you're saying on the three policies he didn't check off, the three policies here, the 3 points. You're saying that.
Does Patrick Bet David not know that QAnon exists? He can't possibly be unaware of QAnon's existence. That's literally what they vote on is just based on the fact that he's Trump. It's a cult. They wouldn't vote for anybody else. There's not like another person that comes into their mind when they think about voting. They're not like, I know that Trump's the cult leader, but that Joe Biden guy has pretty good policies. He's got to be just being intellectually dishonest.
I'm saying he didn't build the wall, or I'm not.
No, so let me take a step back with you.
Please.
So I'm asking you a question, and I said, so tell me if you're saying he's going to get reelected without COVID. You're saying he would have gotten reelected.
I think he would have.
Perfect. And then you said you said something in the context of because I think the MAGA voter is not about policies. That's what you said.
A lot of that fourth group, yes, is not about overarching accomplishments or I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about, and maybe it'll help to distill it. I got a call at some point during the first term of Trump from a guy who said, I'm voting for this guy. This guy is just the best. And I said, oh, okay. What do you care about? How are you evaluating his performance to decide if you're going to vote for him in 2020? Like, I'm curious. How do you decide? He said, well, I care about the wall. So he's got to build that wall. And I said, perfect. If he doesn't build the wall, are you still going to vote for him? And he says, well, yeah, I'm not going to vote for a Democrat. So I said, oh, so it doesn't actually matter if he builds the wall.
The same with you as well, though. There's no way you're voting for a Republican either. Would you vote for a Republican?
Sure. Yeah.
If I have you ever voted for a Republican president?
No, I mean, I've only voted in a few elections.
Yeah,
but hold on a second.
But you're 40 years old. You're 1984, so
I'm 38. Please.
84, 38 years old. 38 is still. You've had plenty of elections.
Let's back up for a second. There's two questions. Would I and have I? I've only voted in a few presidential elections.
You've had plenty of chances.
Well, but who would I voted for? I was going to vote for George W. Bush in 2004. No.
But it doesn't matter. The point is, when you're calling that guy out, you're the same as that guy.
No, I'm not.
Okay, so...
No, he's wrong. He's wrong. Like I said, this guy is not very good at debating. Pac-Man is saying, much like many independent voters have said forever, none of the current candidates appeal to me, therefore I do not vote. Like, I didn't vote in the Hillary Trump, so it was just partially my fault Trump was our president. Sorry, guys. You guys can call me on it. Because I didn't like Hillary and I didn't like Trump. I liked Hillary in the way that, like, Okay, first of all, I like that she was going to be the first woman president, and I wasn't going to vote based off that. I didn't feel like that was the right thing to do. Second, there's things about Hillary's personality when it comes to certain like war tendencies that I disliked. And third, yeah, she did to me what happened to almost every independent during that, is that if you're seriously thinking about voting for anybody other than me, you're a fucking idiot. And that hurt my feelings. It did. It hurt my feelings. And I'm part of the problem. So, but that's what independents are, is a person that is making a decision and sometimes chooses to not vote. I know. I'm sorry, Steven. You guys are going to probably have to unsubscribe now. But I truly do give every candidate the chance. When I see two candidates, I want to hear what they're saying, because I didn't have children back then, but I have children now. Like, I take it seriously. I really think, like, which one of these people is going to make a country that's going to be the best for my children to grow up in. I really actually think about these things. I know that like boggles people's minds. But like I said, I would have voted for John McCain. I felt like his decision to make Sarah Palin his vice president showed he had maybe not as great decision-making abilities. And also, I thought that he was pandering to the check it out, Obama's the first black president, but I would have the first female vice president. So I felt like he wasn't actually making that decision based off her qualifications. I thought that he was making that decision based off of like some kind of grandstanding, and I wasn't with that. So I voted for Obama. But saying that a person isn't independent because they've only voted a couple times and those couple times they voted for a Democrat, that's not true. That just means that, yes, they lean more towards a Democrat, but it doesn't mean that they've never thought about the option of voting for somebody else. Like, that's where I stand with that. Thanks, Steven. I appreciate you. James is going to need to unsubscribe from me for getting his comment wrong. Sorry, James. I thought you were saying David Pacman was doing it bad. I almost fucked up the name again. Yeah, and I actually, like, I understand why people supported Hillary Tamara, and I even support it better, or even feel better about it now. And like, now that I think about it, like years later, obviously hindsight's 2020. I probably would have voted for Hillary, but I chose to not vote. I chose to step back and say, neither one of these people seem to support what I think is best for the country, and I don't feel like I have a candidate, so I didn't. But I understand why people supported Hillary, and actually, like I said, a lot of their arguments now make a lot more sense. I'm also a lot more politically activated now than I was, 8 years ago. I do this channel. I look into things way more often now. I spend so much time looking at all this shit now. And it's a good thing. It's actually a great thing, because I am a father and I do have children, and it does matter. It really, I've said it a million times on this channel. I just want people to get out and vote. I want them to vote in their best interest. Seems some of the comments don't show up. I thought maybe certain words because it'd be blocked or something. I shouldn't be. Make sure you have live chat on, DJ. Make sure you clicked it so it says live chat. I wonder if it is blocking comments. It might be. YouTube's kind of a dick like that. Let's see. What do we have? Toggle moderation activity. Okay. Oh, now I can see. Okay, I have it toggled to where it'll tell me. Nope, I can see that. I can definitely see that. Here's some timestamps. There we go. We're adding all kinds of new stuff to our chat as we're doing our thing here. Okay, what does that do? Just redonk. Redonks are only moderator. Okay. It's all just the lesser two evils. Yeah, that's like... this is where I like Sync's point of view. When Sync and Destiny were debating, I actually gained a lot of respect for Sync during that debate, because he had some pretty good points. He is very progressive, and I think that I'm a little bit moderate on progressive. Like, I'm like lean towards progressivism, but he's very... but one of the things that I really liked about what he said was complaining about the lobbyists, and like, when we can finally get money out of politics, that's when we can actually start to like maybe trust the people that are actually running our country. I think that people should be paid their wage and they should not be receiving. I don't know. Maybe no donations. I don't know. I don't know how to make that fair. It's something to think about, though. Wonder how ChatGPT would do at the debate with this guy. I think he'd do really well against PBD here, but I think ChatGPT would get owned by fucking David Pakman. I'll tell you that much. Luke is with Luke Beasley is one of Dave Pakman's guys. Yeah. Let's see.
So tell me a Republican you'd vote for.
I think you're missing the picture. I think
what is it though?
The point is, he made a claim that he was going to make a vote depending on policy. And when I then said, so if the policy fails, you'll vote for someone else? And he said, no, actually, the policy doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. That's the difference. I'm not making that claim. Yeah. Okay, it's a completely different thing.
Yeah,
I mean, exactly. The same can be said. To take one example of a story of a person who sounds like an idiot, to say that and then categorize everybody in Trump is selective hearing. To say
that's not what I'm doing.
That's selective for you. Well, you are kind of doing that. You're saying here's a Republican voter who you ask, why are you thinking about voting for Trump? Oh, because he's building the wall. Then you said, if he doesn't build the wall, well, I would never vote for a Democrat. Well, do you care if the wall never gets built? No, I don't care. I'm going to vote for him anyways. Well, that doesn't sound like a reasonable voter to me, though.
That's right. He's not a reasonable voter.
Well, the reasonable voters to me was also, if you were to ask the average person who voted for Biden,
sure,
they didn't vote for Biden.
Okay.
They voted against Trump.
Okay.
Do you disagree?
I'd have to look at exit polls. Is that true?
So is that where you go to?
Something like
that. For
a
guy who, if this is your space, what's your podcast about?
What is it about?
What's your show about?
News and politics.
You should know this stuff. You're the expert. I brought you here.
I just don't remember that offhand. Let's find it right now.
But this is your world. Like if you ask.
No, that's dishonest. That's dishonest. Like expecting somebody to know what the exit polls were for Trump and Biden's fucking election 4 years ago. Like, if it's relevant topics, everybody knows this, memory is faulty. So even if he attempted to quote it right now, he'd probably be wrong, and then you would just be like, actually, that's wrong. So, like, that's a very dishonest argument, and this is a really bad way to debate a person. It's a really bad way to debate a person. This is why when people are like, when this guy's like, Peter Hotez is just a pussy, you should fucking debate RFK. This guy doesn't know a single fucking thing about debating. Yeah, people didn't love Biden, they hated Trump. That is, I 100% agree with that statement, DJ. Yeah, I agree with that, but I'm open to the fact that I could be wrong. I'm open to the fact that I could be wrong. And that's what the problem with a lot of these conversations is these people just aren't willing to admit that they might be wrong.
Ask me questions on business. I'm going to say, let me give you my feedback on what I think about business.
Yeah.
You invite me on your podcast, and hey, Pat, I want to talk about business.
Okay, so what is the percentage of businesses that are owned by black people? I guarantee he doesn't know that. What is the percentage of women in the workforce? I bet he doesn't know that. What is the average wage that any worker in a retail industry makes? Bet he doesn't know that. Like, come on, man.
Let's do that.
I have no problem with it to do that part. But what I'm saying to you is, if you're coming here saying what you're saying,
sure,
and then I ask you a simple question of, so the same thing can be said about people that voted for Biden. Yeah, I'm going to vote for anybody. Dude, nobody would show up when Biden would speak. Did you not see his tour when he was going campaign?
This is a total Trump supporter. It's a total Trump supporter. He makes Trump arguments. Holy shit. Redonk, did you do this to me? This guy makes Trump arguments. Did you see how many people showed up at his rally? That equals this. Yeah, it was happening during COVID, where the majority of people that would have voted for Joe Biden most likely agreed with the quarantine, most likely agreed that COVID was real, most likely didn't want to kill their elderly family members by going to a rally and getting them sick. This guy is bad.
Patrick, you're not really doing this, are you?
You're
doing this?
I'm actually curious where you're going to go now.
Biden wasn't even doing events where, this is the Biden one from the basement thing.
Yeah.
I have a counter to this entire, and I want to just be really clear. I don't really care about defending Biden in any particular sense. I just think he was the better option than Trump. I feel like I'm being framed as this Biden lover who's going to defend everything.
I'm not doing that. You may be thinking I'm not doing that to you. I'm asking.
What I want to say about this is,
can you pull up Biden's rallies when he was running for president? Go ahead. Let's see the pictures. But go ahead.
Biden didn't do a campaign the way Trump did it, and the funniest thing to me about
neither has anybody done it like the way Biden's done it. He hid.
But hold the guys.
This was during COVID, though.
Yes. Let's back up for a second.
Look how beautiful that is.
Well,
these are
because
COVID
it's
rallies.
COVID.
Oh, stop
Patrick,
it. You got to be
can
kidding
I tell
me.
you something? This is really the...
He's not serious. He can't be serious. Most likely he didn't have a culture obsession with Biden like Trump is. No, of course not. DJ, yeah. Like, people didn't fucking have some kind of... People aren't in a cult for Joe Biden. They just voted for Joe Biden because he's better than Trump. This guy is bad. I've got to watch him doing some other interviews to see if maybe I'm just like wrong about him in general. But PBD is completely out of his element in this political conversation, at the least. I don't know what he looks like in other conversations, but in this conversation, he is terrible. He should never, ever debate politics ever again. This is terrible. Terrible.
Telling me you're okay,
you seem silly when you do this.
Here's what I'm willing to do. Here's what I'm willing to do.
Please.
I'm willing to give him $1 million of my own money right now to go try to fill up an arena.
For what? What's the point?
Oh, no.
To show that nobody is inspired by this guy.
This is so
not,
silly.
No, but what's silly is for you to assume people voted for Biden. They voted against Trump, is what they did.
Many did, yeah, sure.
Yeah, but you just said.
I said I don't know what the percentage is.
But
all I'm saying is I don't know the
But it's your
percentage.
world, though. This is like if you're gonna sit here and talk about how bad the Trump voter is, and let me tell you, these people, all they care about is his personality for it, outside of the taxes and all this other stuff. And then I ask you a question, I say, so why did people vote for Biden? Many of them voted because they just didn't want Trump. Yeah, I don't know the numbers on that. You should know those numbers.
No.
What? I just don't know that offhand. I mean, we can look it up. Why do I need to memorize?
Can I make a quick point?
Can I just get?
Yeah. Why did we look up the fucking Biden rallies, but you're not looking up the very argument that you're trying to make? Why isn't he arguing from a point of facts? Why is he so disingenuous with his arguments? It's all because he knows. Innately, he has to know that he's wrong, but he's dug into his position and he can't get out of it because he's trying to aggressively attack David Pakman, and Pakman is 1,000% more in the right than he is, and that has nothing to do with political motivation.
There's just one thing I want to say here.
Yeah, go ahead.
This entire Biden hid stuff, it's such a
Hid or hid?
Hid
okay,
in his basement.
Yeah.
Because when you talk about
he did though. He hid a lot of times, but
can I get a statement out? Okay. If I were on the right, I would stop saying that because it's embarrassing to Trump that he lost to a guy who hid in his basement.
It's not.
That's the crazy thing.
Your president, your guy, Joe Biden, is the greatest hide and go seek champion of all time.
Wait, hold on a sec. He's not your president?
Okay, he went to a meme. Congrats on going to the meme to try and win this argument. This dude is like a grown-ass 12-year-old. No wonder why he likes Trump.
He's my president.
Oh, okay. He's our president.
But he's your guy. He's the guy you're defending. You're defending him right now to say...
Only that he's better than Trump because you're making me do this.
Only because you're making me do this.
There's no way in a...
Oh, my God.
Even the liberals today are not saying he's better than Trump in executing or taking action or doing anything.
Let's find that poll.
The only credit, well, at this point, you've lost credibility to talk about polls.
Okay, I don't know if this might hurt my brain just as much as the Destiny versus the two pro-lifers. Oh, fuck, this guy is bad. Book on the shelf is your next 5 moves. Not sure why that's so prominently displayed. Guessing he wrote it, huh, DJ? Bet he's trying to sell that one. Mostly Republican voters died because of big events. Chris Christie almost died because he helped prep Trump. Yeah, that's why Chris Christie hates Donald Trump now. So many people that were like around Donald Trump or part of his fucking cabinet hate him now. How does that not show something? Jenna Ellis almost died because Rudy farted on her. Fucking Rudy. Rudy needs to go away too, man. There's a difference between debate and arguing for the sake of debate. In debate, one cites credible evidence as a point, no asking questions, stated point with evidence, best evidence wins. Yeah, this isn't a debate at all. It's David Pakman attempting to debate while Patrick David, who I'm just going to keep fucking this up, just fucking strawmans the shit out of everything and just sits there and asks disingenuous, dishonest questions that are set up to find holes. Like, you can't quote every statistic that has ever been made. Look, I love fucking baseball. Love baseball. Fucking love baseball. I can tell you so much about the Oakland A's. But if you were to ask me who the third baseman was in 1997, I could make a guess. I'm going to say Eric Chavez. Somebody Google that. He was probably the 2000s, though. I'm probably fucking way off. 97. Okay, wait. High school, 97. Fuck. I couldn't even tell you, right? So you can tell me I'm not an A's fan? That I haven't watched the A's for fucking 30 years of my life? That I can't name, like, almost the entire 1989 team? No, you're not going to say that, because even though I'm, like, fucking super invested in the team and love them to death, not right now, because I don't know that one statistic that I'm an idiot and I don't know. No, because I don't know who he is. I'm still guessing Eric Chavez, though. Mr. Dave Packenster, tears in my eyes, trying to say evidence and keeping cut off. Yeah, exactly. It's a bit of a Gish Gallop. It's not quite a Gish Gallop, but he's working his way up to one.
Because you don't even know what you're talking about when you're saying, well, I don't know if the people were voting against Trump. Let's find a poll. So if you can't agree to that
I don't know how many. Of course they were.
It's not just how many. It's if you go on look at any of these people who were doing what do you call it, street when they're going talking to people
street
and
interviews.
Yeah, it's like, hey, so tell me,
Steven.
Who would you vote here? Trump's the worst. I would never vote for him. People didn't want to vote for this guy because 99% of the media, everybody was sitting there.
Okay, not 99%, but let's make up Trump numbers. Yes, a large part of the media hated Donald Trump for good fucking reason. That's like saying, like, fucking, oh, yeah, like, I don't know, Hitler was doing some bad stuff, but really the reason everybody hated him was because of media. No, he was doing bad shit, and that's why everybody hated him. Like, fucking, yeah. We, like, rail on our media for not doing a good enough job. And for the first time in fucking years, they finally all, like, realized their own bullshit. And we're like, oh, maybe we shouldn't fucking encourage people to vote for a reality TV president that looks like a fucking trained monkey. He's, like, not fucking the person we should have as a president, and you're mad at them now. I don't understand this point of view. Oh, you live in the Bay, Steven? Yeah. Going to Vegas. I'm so mad at the A's, dude. Like, I'm not watching this year. I refuse to watch. It's like it's an abusive relationship right now. They are trying to get out of this relationship, and they are abusing the shit out of me to do it, and I am not in support.
They're bashing him nonstop. By the way, same thing's going to happen with DeSantis.
Yeah.
Same thing happened with Bush. The only Republicans Democrats like is ex-presidents who are now painters. That's the only Republicans Democrats like, because they're no longer a threat.
Okay.
Trump's a big threat. So for you to say, well, we now have respect around the world.
Yeah.
Oh, we circle
I
back.
don't even know if I want that. I think if there's an element of competition, because I think if China has to choose between Trump or Biden, and China would rather have Biden, that's probably not a good sign for me.
Okay.
That's ridiculous. This is the conspiracy theory thing. This is like one world order is bad. I'm going to say this, and I'm sure the conspiracy theorists will love this shit. But if you had the ability to unite the entire planet behind one council of people, and it benefited humanity in like an insanely good way, you'd be crazy to say that's a bad idea. If we all had one monetary system that actually worked, I'm not saying like what these conspiracy theories think that it's an enslavement and all this stuff. I'm saying, hypothetically speaking, if you had a council that ruled the entire world And it actually worked, and people were happy, and there was less war and more equality, and we had one monetary system, so I didn't have to fucking change the money anytime I went out of the country. I've never been out of the country, but I'm scared to go out of the country because I don't know what a dollar's worth. If that hypothetically could happen, that would be a good thing. Yes, we should want a president that's approachable for the Chinese to be able to talk to. We're not becoming communists. I don't care how many fucking times people said this. We love capitalism. We have embraced it. Hugely. It's not going away. This idea that, like, they're going to talk to the Chinese and then they're going to become communists. That's what's going to happen. Like, that's some weird, insecure bullshit.
Good sign if Russia wants Trump. I mean, this is kind of a silly game, right?
No, but Russia is not our number one enemy. Russia doesn't control 80% of chips. Russia is not as powerful as people think they are. They have a lot of nukes. They lead the world. Totally get it. But we're seeing right now what's happening to Russia. Russia is more, they're powerful. You got to put them up there. They're strong. But China is really, really strong and experienced.
Yeah.
China hates America. China doesn't, they're publicly announced.
Dude, you don't know that they hate America. We believe that they hate America. We believe that we're at odds with them. But this rhetoric really comes from Trump. Like, you have to be afraid of China. You have to be afraid of China. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, like, do what's in America's best interest. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be wary of a relationship with a foreign power. But, like, saying, like, we'll never, ever, ever, like, do any kind of deal with them. We'll never ally with them. All that stuff. That's an insane stance to have. To act like there's nothing that we could benefit from with a relationship with China. Even like a cursory, like, just we don't like dislike each other kind of relationship would actually be a good place to be with every country in the world, except for ones like China, like Iran, that have human rights violations that need to be taken care of. Those human rights violations should be taken care of, and then that should be fucking, you should have open arms to anybody that isn't fucking like doing the types of things that some of these countries are doing. But like working in a way to like encourage them to be better about human rights violations, like you still have to have some kind of relationship. You can't just say like, we're just going to fucking wall ourselves off and China better figure it out.
What they're going to be doing, you know, there's a very big difference between China and Russia. And by the way, I'm not sitting here telling you we got to be best friends with Russia. But if China likes a president over another one, that is a red flag for me.
Yeah, it's not rare as a...
Newsmax, James. Newsmax, Fox, OAN. I mean, how about local news stations? Like, people shit on, like, news in general, but there's a ton of fucking local news stations out there that just report the news, right? Like, they just, like, tend to, like, fucking say, and today Donald Trump talked, and yesterday Joe Biden talked. Like, I think people forget because of maybe, like, where we're at with society, with maybe, like, we don't really all watch cable anymore or something like that. But a lot of the local news stations actually just report the news. I mean, it's all fucking sad shit, like somebody got carjacked or murdered. But I think people forget that the regular news media still does exist.
The view on the American right that is generally, who cares what other countries think? I would almost rather they hate us. That's really common.
I didn't say that.
No, I'm not
that's
saying
what you were
did.
saying.
I
want to see a poll on that. Do you have a poll on that?
Not offhand.
Then how could you say, why, do you have a poll? Give me a poll.
Patrick.
But no, give me a poll because that's an anecdote now.
We can use this to stop any conversation.
But you're doing that. But that's what you're doing, though.
You just did it with the polls about liberals
you're the
no
expert.
longer like
You're the
Biden.
Political expert. I'm not.
Oh, come on.
You're the political expert. What you just did. No, you're being silly. So I'm giving you exactly what you've been doing for the first 30 minutes. Now it officially bothers you.
No, it doesn't bother me. I think it's silly. I think we don't get anywhere.
But wait a minute. But what you're saying is that if the argument you give, I said, show me a poll.
Yeah.
Show it to me. You can't do it.
There's a difference between you
what?
saying that there's a specific opinion among voters that they were motivated by a particular reason. We have polling on that. We just have to find it.
You like to use that, but not when it works against you. Yeah, I didn't say hate. I'm not a hate guy. If I was a hate guy, you wouldn't.
No, he's wrong. He's wrong again. He's so fucking wrong. This guy is so bad. The instance that he was asking for a poll, which he wasn't asking for a poll on. He was asked a question. He said, Sure, I think that people do vote for Biden because they hate Trump. I'm sure a certain portion, but how many? That data exists because they're called exit polls. So in exit polls, people give reasons for why they voted, right? So like he's asking for an actual set of data statistics that may or may not exist in like totality, right? Like they may not be perfect, but they do exist. What he's saying, I think more people, or I think most people would agree with me that it's better to have a relationship where they're scared of you than they're not. Well, then you need to prove like that with a poll, or asking for a poll in that area is not the same, because that's not something that we've polled people on. And if it does, then that's fine. Then find a poll on it, like you said, like look for it. Like it's two completely different things. I don't think this guy understands like half the arguments that are being made. You like small town news? Hell yeah, Steven. Bay Area news is best.
I didn't say that.
No, you said most Republicans would prefer if other countries hated us. You're assuming.
I didn't
now.
say most. Run it back.
Wait, you didn't say what?
I didn't say most.
You said what?
I said there is a contingent on the right that actually is emboldened by if they don't
How small of a community is that?
Don't know.
So you're going to take the exception? Are you going to make that argument?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Patrick. I'm verklempt.
Yeah. You and I both.
You and Linda Richmond.
We're going tangent where we can't really drill down on any one issue.
I'm saying to you, hate is not. If I had hate, I would have not had you on.
I didn't ascribe that word to you.
You said, I said fear. I said fear is
earlier
what I said.
In the show.
No. What I mean is, if China prefers any president,
yeah.
For example, if McConnell is going to be president,
yeah.
and China wants McConnell over, let's pick over Tulsi.
Where is he getting this information that China wants Biden to be the president? Is there some kind of news clip I'm missing or something like that? Is there something, or is this just all anecdotal? It has to be all anecdotal. Where is the newspaper clipping or whatever where Xi Jinping's like, thank you, Biden, for being the president is so much better? Like, I think I'm missing something.
I'm not McConnell.
Okay.
If China wants pick what is her name? Liz Cheney? If China was Liz Cheney over Pete Buttigieg, I would be hesitant there.
Okay.
Oh, I'd be
because
hesitant.
Who is the number one
I'd be
enemy?
hesitant, he says.
Who is the number one enemy? I'm actually curious what you're going to think about that.
I don't know
polls.
about
this
the
is
term,
a part that I'm not asking polls.
I don't know about the term enemy. I mean, I think in terms of adversary, I think it's Russia and China differently in different ways, as you talked about. We depend way more on China for goods that we enjoy being cheap because they're made in China rather than here.
I agree.
That confers huge economic power to China. Russia, in a different way, yes, it's the nukes. Yes, it's the more unstable leader. It's also alliances with countries where Russia's involvement can goad or pull the United States in ways that are both resource intensive and politically disadvantageous. So I think those are the
which
two
countries? Give me.
I mean, there's the Afghanistan situation. You could argue Russia. I mean, with Venezuela, there's issues there that are more economic, relating to oil, which we've talked about. It's less about products and it's less about supply chain with Russia, although with energy, Russia is a factor. But I think those are our two biggest adversaries. I don't know if the right term is enemy. I'm open to exploring whether that's the right term. Certainly adversary is the right term.
I think I'm on the same page with you on whether it's adversary or enemy.
Yeah.
You know, keep in mind, I've never taken anything past ESL in my English, so the word enemy and adversary may have the same meaning to me, maybe a different meaning for you.
Fair.
It's opposition is how I see it.
Oh, he used the ESL
but
argument. God damn it, he used the English as a second language argument. That's a meme. That's a meme.
Agree. But the part for me is if a country is overly comfortable with one and is afraid of imposing pain on them and kind of backs off a little bit, I want to know a little bit more. So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right.
That was a really poor conversation, in my opinion. Hour and 48 minutes. I kind of want to watch the rest of it because David Pakman was doing a fucking great job, but I also don't want to watch the rest of it because I don't think that, like I said, James or whoever was saying I'm giving him a little, maybe it's Steven, maybe I'm giving him too much credit. I don't know. Maybe this guy's a sports guy. I see he's got UFC stuff. He's got a baseball bat in the back. I don't know. Maybe there's something else he's good at talking to people about, but it seems like he's got a lot of videos, or maybe these are just ones that are being sent to me because of that. The guy's an arrogant fucktard. Good call. Oh, good call, Fatty. I'm trying to be nice, man. I'm trying to be nice. And I always like to kind of be open to the fact that I'm wrong, right? I didn't like the conversation. I don't like the debate. I think David Pakman handled him exceptionally well. I don't see why this guy has any space other than to be maybe a moderator of sorts, but even then he's not qualified to even be a moderator in conversations like this. When I watched that Peter Hotez RFK conversation between him and like 4 other people, there was one intelligent guy on there that was like, you know, like, hey, like, I disagree with Hotez not debating him, but I also understand why he doesn't. And the other 4 people were all fucking morons, and this guy was one of them. I can't give him any credit, man. I said this about the 2 ladies in the pro-life debate, and one of them was doing better than the other. But when you won't argue honestly, when all you do is attack and straw man and attempt to catch people in, like, you know, loops about like, okay, well, hold on, you said this, now what about that? That's not a good debate. It's not a strong debate. You're not presenting evidence like Fatty was talking about. You're not shoring up your stance by you know, laying down like a set of facts or you know, like I said, there's multiple times during that conversation he could have just looked up those polls himself to prove Pakman wrong. He chose not to do it because he knows that doing so makes him look like a fool, because if he pulls up the poll and he's incorrect and Pakman's right, then he has to back down, but he won't because he knows that to concede is weakness. It's fucking crazy. It's great. Yeah, you watched that for life debate with me, Steven. I didn't realize that the audio was fucked on that. I was really drunk that night, Steven. I had like 5 glasses of fucking tequila that night and a beer. And then I went back to review the log, and it was like fucking echoing and stuff, and I was like, oh shit. Like, I'm sorry if that audio was horrible that night. I was so drunk. We might do it again this Friday. I might get on Friday again for some fun drinks. We'll have some drinks, watch some people debate dumb shit. Other than that, that's the end for me. I'm glad you guys all still got your fingers. Fatty, I didn't ask you still had your fingers. I hope so. James, sorry for getting your comment wrong. I do that. I told you, I'm wrong. It happens. I do dumb shit sometimes. And these 2 people's names are way too fucking close together. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Every Wednesday is one of my favorite fucking times of the week because you guys show up and I get to talk to you guys and we get to watch these people act like idiots for our pleasure. And there's nothing better to do with our time. I appreciate you guys. This guy has 4.4 million subscribers. You've got to be fucking kidding me. I don't even know what to say. All right. Anyways, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And I will see you next time. Have a good night, guys.